Hello, Cobalters. It is time for more action and here from the Cobalt League. Then it is the 10th installment of Season 2 here tonight at the historic Belgian Grand Prix. And this is going to be a cracker, isn't it? Just like the other three nights. And my goodness me, we've had action, we've had drama, we've had, well, electricity. Yes, we've had all that kinds of stuff. And one more time, then we are going to be dancing through the forest, or the Ardennes forest, then of the Belgian Grand Prix. 20 drivers and 22 laps, then to navigate through this 7-kilometer long circuit, the longest circuit in the all of the Cobalt calendar. So this one is going to be a grueling test of man and machine. Welcome along, everyone, to the Belgian Grand Prix. And before we get into it, then hopefully we haven't got a full start like we did last night, as I was waffling away for 10 minutes before realising that the session was broken, but never mind. In the drivers and the constructors, then this is how the state of play so far. We have got so far, we've got Hammer Time leads the championship, but only 21 points in front of Starburst. And I say only 21 points. I remember that Hammer Time absolutely took off at the beginning of the season, but Starburst has just been using this consistency to really keep Hammer Time at arm's length. J Dog then has slipped back slightly in the last couple of races. He's third at the moment. Cassal's been superlative, hasn't he, in the Ferrari since being confirmed the full-time driver. Ducanco in 5th position. I'm still expecting to get a Grand Prix win sometime this season, but when will that be the case? He made his debut, I think, here last season. Iron Knight in at 6th position in the Haas course, got his first Grand Prix win earlier on the season. Boudelight, I think, is having a strong season. Remember, he was relegated from a bronze and a much better season in Cobalt today. Smithy Almighty, a strong season as well in 8th position. Also, he came down from bronze towards the end of last season. Great job so far to Smithy Almighty. Brooksy, I think that if we was doing half-term team report, then I think that Brooksy may have to have the must-do-better category at the moment. He is down in 9th position. And Paris, another driver that should be higher up than Wally is, and since being confirmed a full-time Williams driver, has been a bit disappointing. The top 10 now, I've got a humongous lead then over 11th position Ginner. 18 points then separates 11th and 10th position so far. That is Ginner in 11th position. Currently in the bottom three, we have Buckass, who hasn't scored a point. ZGS, who was in magnificent form in the British Grand Prix, and Liam D, who's in 18th position at the moment then. So that is the drivers in the constructors standings, and it is the AlphaTauri who are doing just as well in Cobalt as they are doing in silver. They are leading the constructors championship with 29 points from the Haas team in second. Aston Martin, a strong performance so far in third, with the Alfa Romeo team in fourth. Ferrari is in 5th position. The Williams in 6th position, closely followed by the McLaren Mercedes team, 7 points adrift from the Williams team. Then 8th position is the Alpine, 9th position is the Red Bull. Mercedes is propping up the table in 10th position then. And we got track action already then. I think that is a Merc. So we've got a couple of Davidsons as well. So here comes Senna, the Mandalorian then. I think the Mandalorian then. Mandalorian? Goodness me, I think I'm on Star Wars. That is the Mandalorian then, who is in the Alpine car. Good stuff indeed. It's great to see a Senna name on the track as well. Here comes Craig R in the Mercedes, and this is Craig R's third Grand Prix start for Cobalt tonight then. Let's see what he can do. I'm sure that Craig R has actually been in the Mercedes before, has he? Not in Cobalt, but he has been in the Mercedes before, I think in a bronze then, of course. Goku saying that evening on, goodness me, Goku has now got a different name. Incredible stuff, Venice. He is now ALR Goku, so I really appreciate that. Good stuff indeed then. Charlie Scott saying hello there. Alboy said hello there is good stuff indeed. There's Russian evening as well. Great, thank you all for being a part of the stream here tonight. And we've got a car strung at the top of a Radion then. Or is it a Rouge? And of course it's actually Radion, actually, isn't it? Just on board then with Craig Ardens. He's now dropping out of the corner with no name in the Mercedes then. Now coming into Puyong as well then. Puyong probably one of the most difficult corners on the circuit, I think, in real life anyway. Not in terms of this game now. I think it's Radion there still, the brutal one, and up at the top of the hill and no Rouge. Thank goodness me, the car just goes so light then, and you'll have a big accident indeed, won't you? Of course, anyone who's new to the stream or new to Formula 1 or new to ALR, welcome. Of course, if anyone wants to know about the Someone's had a cropper at the it's one of the Williamses there have had an issue. It's Picasso having a couple of issues there in the second Williams car. He has just come a cropper at the corner with no name there, unfortunately. Of course, if you're new to the Cassel's of the session, if you're new to Formula 1 or ALR, or you just want to know what are we doing, then this is qualifying. Then this is to determine the grid. Then as they go on as we line up 2 by 2 by 2, it's like a Noah's Ark, isn't it? Kind of grid. It's stagnated though, of course. And this is and qualifying 1, we're just aiming to line up the bottom 5 cars then, and then qualifying 2 we do the same, and then qualifying 3 it is a top 10 pole position shootout for who is going to start on a pole position then for tonight's Grand Prix as well. Of course, we are qualifying and the Grand Prix itself on the same night, which is good stuff indeed. There is that Jenner going a bit wide, and he's lengthened the championship at the moment. Jenner is at Senna. Mandarin then is up into pole position at the moment. No, he isn't. He's fast as ever. We ain't doing pole position yet, Sean. I need to calm myself down. 3/10 a second in front of Senna is Starbus then in the Aston Martin. Good stuff indeed then. These times are coming through quite quick here then. Silva also making a reserve appearance here tonight as well. So great stuff indeed that he comes up to the line. He's invalidated his time, unfortunately. This is a long lap around here, as I mentioned there in the build up to the show. It is about 7 kilometers long, this circle. It's Smithfield Mighty goes 4 fastest, and that means though that if you invalidate your time like we just in Silva do, of course, you can tell when the driver invalidates his time, because the track map will go red, then the track map on the right hand side will all highlight red then, which means that the lap has been invalidated, whether they've cut a corner or gone slightly too wide, which means that they'll have to start their lap again then, unfortunately. That track limits around here can be quite brutal indeed, can't they? And just keeping an eye and see who is doing what then. Scooby Stew coming into the Fania chicane as well. Just in front of us is Brooksy then. Of course, we are at the halfway stage of the World Championship in Cobalt, aren't we? And of course, we just in the build in the previous show. Then I think there's a lot of drivers then that are doing a great job in terms of grading. I think Hammer Time then has been pretty on tip-top performance at the moment. Now he'll get an A+ on my report card. Fantastic. For Hammer Time, another driver who get an A+ in my opinion. As Hammer Time goes fast to the line, his performance at 2/10 a second exactly in front of his championship rival at this stage of proceedings, as Starbus. Another driver who get an A+, is, in my opinion, is a J-Dog. He's absolutely fantastic this season now in the running then for promotion into bronze for next season. Of course, the top 3, just the top 3, like in almost like in football anyway. Of course, we'll get promoted then into bronze, of course, and Brooksy, who is now just going through Eau Rouge as well. Silva has invalidated his time again, unfortunately, in the Ferrari. I hope he's got that car filled up to the top then of fuel. Good stuff indeed then. There's a Brooksy there just coming up the Kemmel Straight as well before into Lecom. Cassell is back in the session. Good stuff indeed. Lovely helmet design here, by the way, from Brooksy. Fantastic stuff indeed. And just dropping down the hill then. Of course, there's 19 turns around this circuit, and this has been it's been a part of Formula 1 calendar. Well, it's been on and off of the Formula 1 calendar over the past few seasons or so, hasn't it? Remember that it took a break in 2003 to do to make amendments to the circuit there, mainly the bus stop chicane, which I think they butchered it personally, but that's my opinion. And of course, then they made more amendments in 2006 there, and then they completely ruined it, which is what we've got today. So I would rather the old bus stop chicane, and it's not really a bus stop anymore at all, is it? They've completely ruined that, unfortunately. Hammer Time is in trouble. Hammer Time's in major trouble, and he's been disqualified from the session there, and he's been disqualified for pointing the wrong way, and the championship leader is going to start at the back of the grid then here in the Belgian Grand Prix tonight. That is not on the script. That has gone very much against the run plan for the AlphaTauri team. Oh my goodness me, you only seen the end of it then. And he was disqualified for was he driving the wrong way or pointing the wrong way? I think that he might have just been in a dangerous position there, but whatever the case may be, Hammer Time, who was fastest then, who that might have even been comfortably through, is out of qualifying. He is down at the back of the field. Brooksy is second fastest at the moment. Buddha like that, just going through a Pouillon as well. What about Paris? And he's starting his lap then. Ducanco out the corner with no name. Picasso out of last source then. Stars, he's got a new name as well. Lovely stuff indeed there. Winnie there just flying past me as well. Silva is third time's a charm for the Ferrari driver. Lovely helmet, dark blue and black. Love it. Goes across the line. line, 7 fastest in the Ferrari as well. Good stuff then. 2 DRS zones around this circuit, around this legendary Grand Prix circuit. Of course, on the start finish straight into last source, we don't see many overtaking opportunities there, and then of course up the Camel Straight as well. And maybe it is, maybe you'd be happier if you wasn't on pole position in this one, as you might get a good slipstream now from one of your rivals. The final turn then is Boudelight is just following Iron Knight, and of course them two had a good old scrap there in the British Grand Prix. Iron Knight won and Boudelight got second then on that day, didn't it? It was a great performance there from both drivers there. Their best performance in their career now. Really good stuff indeed there. Dukanko goes 8 fast, I said, which is a bit behind the 8 ball there for Dukanko. Cassal's got some issues as well. The two of the top 4 in this qualifying session is having a bit of a bumpy start into their Belgian Grand Prix experience, isn't they? So I'm not sure what is going on there, unfortunately. And then we've got a couple of cars then just slowing down on the very fast part of this circuit then. Hopefully that Mercedes then is got the trap map on then. ZGS doesn't want to get in Winnie's way at all then. Luckily, just about got out of the way then, but that was very close indeed, and surely that would have distracted Winnie to a certain degree then. It's good to see we got a car, I'm sure, just to pop out. We seem to have the cars pop out quite a lot on this in Cobalt, because I think that we also had someone had a lot of issues last week, didn't they, in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Winnie goes 9 fastest at the moment now in the Red Bull machine. And here comes Iron Knight in the Fania chicane then, coming out of his landing, now comes in to Stavolo. Now accelerates away, intermediate 2 is coming up, he's done a 15 at 3.59 then. Of course, the Belgian Grand Prix has got its very own weather system, hasn't it, around here now. Are we expecting rain? Well, I haven't heard anything about rain yet, but I do love it when I don't know about the weather, which I wish I could say the same by that today, as it was pretty... Well, it was actually very cold outside. Thank goodness me, I actually had to get my old gloves out, which is quite unusual for me. My word, there it's very chilly out there indeed. But in terms of the weather here in Belgium, there's Iron Knight goes 5th fast, a whisker behind his teammate, and again it shows how great of a job J-Dog's doing there, because Iron Knight is no slouch in a Formula 1 car, but J-Dog in front of him by 3/10 of a second. That is speaks volumes in my book. Really good stuff indeed there. Dukanko, a much better time there. It's now 2nd fast in front of his teammate by 1/1000th of a second. Now, goodness me, by 3 decimal places there. That is how close they are. They was only separated by 1/1000th of a second there. Ridiculously close indeed. That is great stuff. ZGS then, here he is, and he's only scored once so far this season, but he had a cracking performance from ZGS. He's currently in the bottom 3. He's down in 90th in the World Championship. ZGS is, but I think the last 2 races have been a very good improvement there from the Mercedes driver. We've got Gunnar saying good luck everyone. Young Tommy then, the silver championship leader, saying evening on. We've also got J-Dog saying evening as well then, with a is that a wink emoji there? I'm not too sure. J-Dog's retired from the session. He is very happy with his performance, and he doesn't think he needs to be back out either then. Center on his debut tonight, doing an absolutely superlative job there in the Alpine. 1 and done then so far. ZJS goes 11 fast. That's a very good top indeed there for the Mercedes driver there. He squeezed himself into 11 fast. We are expecting to lose 4 drivers then in qualifying. 1, oh goodness me, that's getting a bit squirrely on the old rear. We are expecting to lose 4 drivers in qualifying. When there's Craig R just flies past his eyes. The Botta, he's the source of the time runners thus far by 500ths of a second, then give or take then. So let's see what Craig R has got in the piggy bank on the second time of asking. Picasso's having a couple of issues at the top of Lake Com there. Goodness me, Picasso is not having a good run of form up there, is he? Craig R has got 3/10 of a second up there, and that will actually slot him in quite nicely around the Winnie and ZGS mark. Then across the line there comes Craig R. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then he's in 12 fast at the moment, 10th of a second behind his teammate. Much better fist of things there for Craig R. Currently in the bottom is Hammer Time out qualifying at the moment then, as we've got a yellow flag. That is one of the Alpha Taris there. Looks like we've come a cropper there at the Lacombe chicane as well. We got Stars, Picasso, Paris and Casal currently all in the bottom 4. Bottom 5, and Hammer Time out qualifying. He's going to have to be coming through the field like a hot knife through butter, isn't he? Hammer Time, he's going to have to do his best at Max Verstappen impression there from the Russian Grand Prix. But is this an easier track to overtake than Russia? potentially. Yes, Mandarin then is unfortunately out of qualifying. Here comes Sir David, getting a bit wide out of the Fania chicaning in car 2, getting a bit cozy with the inside curve there for Sir David, and accelerates away then out of Stavelo then, and now he has got one more decision to make as the Alpine driver, as he now flies through Blanchimont as well then, and before he comes up into the bus stop chicane. Oh, he's got a bit wide there. Dave has had get a bit lazy on the steering wheel, and he's going to be kicking himself with 3 minutes to go then. It's a golden opportunity for someone with hammer time out of qualifying. We wasn't expecting to say that at the start of the stream tonight. That is what I wasn't expecting to say that, because that was not a part of my script here tonight. And it's not part of hammer time script here. But of course, the manager's in the championship by 21 points then, so he's got a lot of overtaking to do as he that. But luckily, this circuit is not too bad for overtaking, so I think that hammer time should be okay. He looks like he had the pace there, albeit we only seen him do one lap, didn't we? Here's Paris then. In the Williams car, goodness me, the Williamses are looking very skittish there, aren't they? Picasso, we've seen Picasso go around on that corner there just a minute ago, the corner of no name, and then Paris' back end was looking very light as a feather as well. They're coming for the corner of no name, goodness me. So the Williams team have not got a lot of downforce there on their cars, which normally is, well, we normally say that in real life, don't we? But well, this season, Williams team are looking a very strong candidate indeed. Silva, happy with his 9th position there, and is retired from the session now. Hopefully he doesn't regret that. Smith Almighty also out of qualifying as well, about 4 tenths a second away from Silva. I'm not sure, hopefully that hasn't, they haven't retired prematurely, because otherwise they could be seeing themselves out of qualifying, which will be a big blow to all those drivers indeed. Scooby Stew has retired from the session there. I think the Scooby Stew may be a bit more concerned than other people at the moment, because Scooby Stew is now 15th and he's in the danger zone of being knocked out of qualifying. ZGS is also retired as well then. Goodness me, are they seeing something that I'm not here? Goodness gracious me. So Dave is going for another by the chair as well. Here he comes then through Blanchimont as well. We've got an Aston Martin out there of Jenner. Casal still in the pits at the moment. Then we've got Styles, who's not taking part in qualifying. Picasso's out as well. What about Sir Dave that accelerating out? Goodness me, that back end is struggling at the moment. Across the line he goes, and he goes 13 fastest only for Sir Dave, and he is still very vulnerable. Scooby Stew, unfortunately though, is out of qualified because of that lap there that Sir Dave just done. Junior's done 4 laps on those tyres, and I think he's just trying to put those tyres through their paces. And 58 seconds to go in this qualifying session, and Casal is down in 19th position. Then Styles down in 17th position. Scuba Stew out of qualifying as well. What about Picasso? He is the only driver then that could potentially knock Winnie out here. So it's between Picasso and Winnie who's going to be going into qualifying too, whilst the other driver might be out. Well, it's going to be out of qualifying, unfortunately. As now Styles is out as well, so that confirms that Styles is out. Then we've lost. So we've got one more slot to fill. Then who is it going to be? It's going to be one of the blue cars, where it's going to be a dark blue car or just a normal blue car, whether it's the Red Bull or the Williams car. And so here comes Picasso then in car 21. He has the speed, Picasso does, but I think that he's so quick, Picasso. It's unfortunate though, it just doesn't seem to go too fruitful in the race, does it? Gordo has just said hello, good evening, Gordo, and we're going up through Eau Rouge and Radion now. Then goodness gracious me, then I've got to say that car looks very pointy there for Picasso, and that might serve him well, but unfortunately with a very pointy car, you're going to put a lot more turning into those front tires, which may cause a bit more wear potentially. Then that's my line of thinking anyway. Whether that's right or not, it remains to be seen, of course. Then. So that's in the qualifying one, and the checker flag is fluttering in the beautiful breeze here in Spa, isn't it? Of course, this is my kind of Spa days, and I'm not going to be going to any Spa where you might be getting pampered or anything like this. This is my kind of pampering here around everyone. Absolutely fabulous surroundings here in Spa as well. And to us, why is it one of my favourite circuits? Well, you could just list off the classic races around here, can't you? 2005 Springs Branch. I think it was the McLaren's only won 2 last season as well, wasn't it? Where I think Montoya had to let Kimi Räikkönen through, didn't he, on that day, wasn't it? And that was the only wet race of the season in 2005. We also had, of course, the 98 Grand Prix. My goodness gracious me. I think in those 2 conditions we wouldn't have had a race, would we, if that happened today? But it was Damon Hill winning his 22nd and final final Grand Prix was it. It was also Jordan's first ever Grand Prix win, and Ralf Schumacher on the podium as well, along with, was it Jean Alesi as well? It was a cracking day, wasn't it? Really, a really good day indeed. As it got a little, it also got a little heated in the garages as well. Picasso's through into qualifying 2. Out qualifying is winning, unfortunately. So winning out with Scooby Stew, Styles, Casal, and Hammer Time have all exited the qualifying session. Unfortunately, Paris, who is also out on circuit as well, but I think that he should be safely through. So that is our qualifying 1 session done and dusted then, as we enter qualifying 2 in just a jiffy. Which is good stuff for me, because I can just carry on reminiscing about the past, which is of course which is very much what I enjoy doing there. Of course, the 95 also springs to mind as well. That cracking race there, where Michael Schumacher took his 16th Grand Prix win on his way to his second World Championship for the Benetton Renault team, when him and Damon Hill had a cracking old battle, didn't they? Where it was incredible stuff indeed. I don't think Damon Hill was very much up to par in that season, was he? I think I heard an interview with Damon Hill saying that after the heartbreaking at 94, he really wasn't really on his game, was he, as such? And we've seen it in the British Grand Prix and the Italian Grand Prix as well, where him and Schumacher came to blows, but Damon Hill was more at fault, I would say, rather than Schumacher, which is unfortunate, because I am a big old Damon Hill fan, of course. I was definitely flying the flag for Damon Hill in those years as well, even when he was driving for the Arrows team then in 97, then after he was sacked from his seat then. And Frentzen, I think, came into a seat, didn't he, for 97? It wasn't the most fruitfulest of relationships, was it, between Frentzen and Frank Williams? And goodness me, look at the top 3. Whilst I've been waffling away about the past, let's talk about the here and now, shall we? And this is it: Starbust and Dukanko and Brooksy. First, second, third, then 75 hundredths of a second separates the top 3. Really good stuff indeed. Senna having a great debut. Really good stuff indeed there. Out of qualifying, this is the biggest surprise so far. Hammer Time's been disqualified for parking in a dangerous location there. So I think he spun out the Fania chicane, and I think it took a while to get going. But unfortunately, Hammer Time, the championship leader, down in 20th position. He's got a lot to do. Casal, Styles, Scuba Shoot, and Winnie also out of qualifying. Now into qualifying 2. Which is a big shame for those 5 drivers, but don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, ALR fans and all the fans and those 5 drivers. They will be in action in the race. I am sure of it. And hopefully we see Casa and Stars in there as well, because we haven't seen them so far yet in this evening's Grand Prix, which is very heartbreaking indeed, isn't it? So hopefully we'll see them in the Grand Prix itself in 15 seconds in this second qualifying session, as I think my timer is slightly too fast. So in this qualifying 2 session, we've got 15 minutes this time. We've got to lose another 5 drivers. But any drivers that are 10th and above have to start on the tyres, which they set their fastest time ons, of course. So that is the caveat then. So this is where the strategy really comes into fruition in that, of course. So the drivers have got to put their thinking caps on. As out of the pits there comes Brooksy. He's got the most pole position so far, with 4 to his name then for Brooksy. And of course he got pole position in the Hungarian Grand Prix last time out. One driver who's not going to get a pole position is the man who's on pole at the British Grand Prix, which is Starbust, who's unfortunately out of qualifying for his misdemeanor. So Starbust down in 15th position there. So we've got the top 2 of the championship are 20th and 15th. So that is a recipe for an absolutely doozy of a Grand Prix, isn't it? Oh my word, that. Brooksy, who is, don't worry about him invalidating his opening lap then, because this is just an outlap then. So this outlap then is just getting the car prepared for the quick lap. And of course that means just making sure the tire's in an optimal temperature window, just making sure that the battery is not being drained too much there, and just making sure that you've got your mindset in the right space as well then for this lap there, where you've really got to live on the edge of your seat and beyond, don't you? So of course you see the red light flashing on the back of the rear car of the Alfa Romeo there it is, and that signals then that the drivers are harvesting then, is to warn the drivers behind if they have a sudden decrease in acceleration then. But I think that really the drivers should notice that well before they should see the red lights, because these drivers have got a lot of quite reactive indeed. And look at this, we've got a bit of gamesmanship here then between the Alfa Romeo and one of the Williamses then, as it looks like that I think that who is that? That is Picasso, who do want to overtake Brooksy then. So I think Picasso wants a cheeky little slipstream now, doesn't he, from Brooksy? Brooksy's on those soft tyres then. I don't think Brooksy's going to put in a competitive time just yet, because would he want to start on a soft tyres, or would he rather start on the medium tyres then and just get himself a better race window then? Of course, as you can see, I don't think he's even put the DRS on then, as in he goes straight on there. Brooksy does that. So Brooksy, I don't think it's going for a quick lap then, but Picasso is. Picasso's on the medium tyres. We can tell that because it's on the yellow bar tyres. You can see it on the left-hand side tower as well. I've just smashed my Botto flying across the room now, so that's not good because I can't get it now. Picasso's invalidated his time. That's not good either, as unfortunately that's not good then. So Brooksy is going to overtake his adversary between goodness me, then we've got a bit of a dicing going on already. Lovely stuff indeed. We're just going to stick with Senna Mandarin now, as he is up at the top of the hill then. Let's go on board then. This is David's night then for Senna Mandarin then. And absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then. I'll try to be clever really. And I like to use people's second names, but unfortunately I think I've absolutely ruined this second name, and I'm going to stick with Senna then. But goodness me, if I say Senna, gosh, then I feel quite enlightened now to be saying Senna's name in the Formula 1 commentary booth. My word, there, absolutely fantastic. But here comes Senna now coming through Puyong as well then. Before coming up into the final chicane. Of course, this was the scene where Senna stopped his car going through Blanchimont, didn't he, when Eric Comas, who by the way was his birthday the other day, so happy birthday Eric Comas. This was where Eric Comas had that horrific shunt there, didn't he, coming out of Blanchimont, and Senna stopped his McLaren, got out of the car, and potentially saved Eric Comas's life as well, because I think Comas was unconscious at the time then, and he still had his foot hard on the accelerator, didn't he? And Senna there turned off the engine there, so potentially that could have that probably did save Comas's life. And Brooksy goes across the line. He's done a 50 so far, but that was without DRS or any of his toys to play with. Senna goes fast as on a 44.6 then in the Alpine car 69 then, very much right in where he would like to be then. Boudelight then is just finished off his lap as well. So is Paris, and here comes Paris in the Williams, and Picasso's abandoned his time then and come back into the pits. Paris is on the soft tyres and he comes across the line. He goes fast as hell for Paris. Lovely stuff indeed. Booty is also on the soft tyres as well, so B across the line. He goes fastest, and he's about 9 thousandths of a second away from Senna, who's done that time, of course, on the medium compound tyres. Craigar across the line, and Craigar goes fourth fastest. Smithfield, mighty goodness me, they're coming through thick and fast, and with 10 minutes to go in this session. Good grief, and they're flying past it. I've just in Styles, it has said then that he has got no setup on the car at all, so that may be a challenging dynamic then for maybe a challenging dynamic for Styles, who starts 18th on the grid, I think, or 17th on the grid. I should pay more attention, shouldn't I? Good grief. J-Dog then just come through the corner with no name as well. Silva is in the pits, and Brooksy is now 3 seconds up there, but he's gone way too wide now at the Fania chicane, and goodness me, and that is going to be a track extension now. So we're going to stick with J-Dog for the bit, and who also comes through the Fania chicane. Not too far away, J-Dog. Today is a very important day for J-Dog with his 2 championship rivals there, who unfortunately there have got one's been disqualified, whilst the other is down in 15th position. This is an important day for J-Dog. Can J-Dog capitalise on his championship rivals' misfortune here and reel them back in then? Of course, J-Dog has got 2 Grand Prix wins out of that incredible performance in the Azerbaijan and Canadian Grand Prix, and both were completely different circuits, wasn't it there? So J-Dog absolutely in those 2 weekends was in a sweet spot of his career, wasn't he, for J-Dog? Fantastic stuff there. Can he get into a sweet spot here again tonight then? Well, J-Dog is currently 10th fastest in the Haas car at the moment. Everyone's on the medium tyres apart from Paris and Booty. So everyone there is thinking that it's going to be the medium compound tyres to start the Grand Prix. Here's Jenner in the Aston Martin, then come up to the top of Le Coq there. Lovely something there, of course. Talking about the history of the Belgian Grand Prix. Oh my gosh, there is Jenner there. It's getting a bit squirrely on the old rear end of that Aston Martin. Goodness gracious me then. That Aston Martin doesn't feel very much bolted to the ground, does it? Oh my word, that's going to make me very nervous there. And maybe Jinner's nervous as well, but Jinner, I think, is much more as a much braver man than I am, isn't he? There, so Jinner might prefer to drive with a skittish rear end. And I'm sure I heard one of the drivers say that they would prefer to race with oversteer anyway, because oversteer you can still go fast with oversteer. With understeer, it's just very difficult to go fast with understeer, isn't it? And I think that Jinner does very much like an oversteering kind of car. And oh my goodness me! And I thought he was in the barrier there. Has he damaged the car? Well, he's still going on there. I think it was just a glancing blow there for Jinner. Oh goodness me! We said he was brave, didn't we? Well, my word, that he is as brave as an oxen. But Jinner's gone very wide down. Unfortunately, he's invalidated his time. And Jinner then, is he going to come back in the picture? No, he's going for another bite of cherry. Oh my word, then I'm surprised that car is still going. Here comes Picasso then, and he is at the top of the hill then, just dropping down now. You see that? This is why I mean, like, it's very much like a roller coaster. It's such an incredible track to drive, isn't it? Of course. So when you get it wrong, you're going to get it wrong in a big way. And you Picasso flicking it through Puyol as well. Then lovely stuff indeed. Then for getting back on the power, coming up into the Fania chicane. There he is indeed. Don't take too much of the curbs out here, because these curbs on this game there, and just like that, spins the car, and Picasso he's gone into the barrier quite heavily there as well. And there's the two Alfa Romeos. I wonder if they're orchestrating a bit of slipstream, but I think our focus needs to be on Picasso. I hope he hasn't damaged the rear part of the car, but he did clout it quite heavily when he spun the final chicane there for Picasso, and that is a major problem there for the Williams driver. That yellow flags is floating all around the circuit then. And Jinner looks like he's invalidated his time again there, Jinner has said. So, and there he is in the background. So we're going to stick with Iron Knight there as well, as he flies through Puyol as well there. Goes through there. Used to be a gravel trap on the outside of that corner, didn't there, not too long ago. Of course, now a lot of it is a tarmac runoff area, isn't it? And just now on board then, as we've got Lewis G saying, go Craig! Craig currently in fourth position there in the Mercedes. He's done 2 laps on those medium tyres, and Craig is primed and ready to go. He's done the job then, hasn't he? Along with Smith the Almighty, and Booty and Paris and Senna. Senna's done the job completely. He's out of his car and probably decided to have a read on the old Sky Sports app potentially. But of course, the drivers are in the pits there. They've done their job. They're just in there. They're waiting to see where they need to come out and throw a set of soft tyres on and come back out there and defend their position. Here comes Iron Knight. He's already on the soft tyres. He goes second fastest. Iron Knight does Whisker behind Paris at the moment, but Iron Knight might be very happy with that position there. But of course, the one thing that we do have to keep an eye out for is the track conditions there, and whether or not they're going to improve or not. Brooksy and oh my gosh, Brooksy and Ducanco have come out quite close together. We've talked about maybe the slipstream effect there, but these two are going to really going to hinder themselves slightly. And goodness, we got a couple of comments coming in now. Rusty saying go Craig as well. Hammer saying go Craig. Craig's going to win. Goodness gracious me. Then we've got a lot of Craig fans in the comments tonight. Absolutely love it indeed. Then as just watching Ducanco, who's done a 16.6 in the second split time there for Ducanco. This is very much a adventurous type of lap there for Ducanco, which means his teammate Brooksy, he's let his teammate Brooksy through there, coming into the final part of the lap as well, coming through Blanchimont as well. Brooksy, he's down in 8th position in the World Championship. Brooksy is of course, when we was talking about the form of this season for a lot of drivers, and of course Brooksy's report card did say must do better there. Of course, Brooksy was one of the favourites for the championship there, but he's just not it's not been too fruitful as it this season for Brooksy. But he's third fast at the moment. He's the highest on the soft tyre and the medium tyres there, so that is still looking quite good then. Sir Dave now we're getting the bus stop chicane, then accelerates out, and he's used a lot of deployments on this lap, Sir Dave has, but that's a lovely 6th position now for Sir Dave, 4/10 of a second away from Booty Delight. Ducanco going for a second button to chair as well. Here comes ZGS then, who's 13th fast. He's currently outside then of the drop zone. And as Ross G is asking if Hammer Time is a Craig R fan, then I gotta say I'm sure he definitely is then. I'm sure Hammer Time is a big Craig R fan, and I hope that Hammer Time is actually enjoying the coverage then, because usually he is in the he's in action in the car. This is very unusual for Hammer Time to be watching us on the stream then, so good stuff indeed there. Of course, keep your comments and comments and all that kind of jazz coming in then, as it's very much appreciated indeed. Then ZGS then into the bus stop chicane and in the Mercedes-Benz then out of the final turn then for ZGS. He goes 10th fastest. That is in the still in the danger zone, isn't it, for ZGS? So I don't think he's going to be feeling too confident of where he is at the moment, isn't he? Here is Dukanko as well. Lovely shot here from the AstroTurf for the curbs. Dukanko giving the outside track a lot of width there, isn't he? Dukanko is very respectful on the outside there in the Stavilo part there. Flying past there, flying past through a Blanchimont as well. Lovely stuff indeed there for Dukanko. Lets the steer, loosens the grip on the steering wheel slightly there before coming into the bus stop chicane, dropping down into 50 miles an hour, 52 miles an hour. I think it was the lowest on the speedometer. Across the line he comes in. And he goes 10th fastest for Dukanko. He's still in danger, I think. Dukanko is. He's not going to be feeling too safe there at all. ZGS found 2:10 second the first split time alone. Picasso is off at the top of Lake Com here, and Picasso's having a nightmare qualifying in the Williams, and that might be him out of it. And oh gosh, there he is. Is that no? His car is still in. Oh no, he's out. So Picasso, a bit of fury there for Picasso. Oh dear, and there's going to be a lot of fury in the Williams garage later on. And Picasso just doesn't seem to. He is having troubles. Picasso was with trying to get a time on the board. That car is looking a bit skittish there. Here's ZGS said he's looking strong in the first sector. Didn't see the second sector as well as watching Picasso who's having some struggles at the top of the hill. Now into the bus stop chicane then. And now out of it as well. Then I was going quiet there because I was trying to move a bit quick as I was getting cramp in my leg there. ZGS does a much better time. He goes 7 fast there for ZGS there. Is he going to be comfortable with that? He may be comfortable, but I don't think his teammate's going to be too comfortable with that time. No, I think his teammate's going to be looking over his shoulder. J-Dog is currently out on the outside of Bouillon. Yeah, goodness gracious me then. That's well wide indeed there. Booty like going for a second by the chair, but he's 9/10 a second down. Booty is there, so I think the Booty is Booty going to be safer? I don't think it is. Dukanko who's I don't think he's on a quick lap at the moment, is he? Dukanko isn't. I don't think Silva is either then, because he's in the 2 minutes of this one. Silva is, so he's going to have to run again then. So just going to stick with Jenner for the minute then, before as he comes in to the bus stop chicane as well. Goodness gracious me, that's quite close then to that Alfa Romeo, and Jenner then into the bus stop chicane and accelerates away. Let's see what Jenner does, and there's a Ferrari who's also Jenner goes faster. That's a cracking time now for the Aston Martin driver. Really good stuff indeed there. Silva, unfortunately though, that's 2 laps that he's really caused a problem with, and J-Dog there is invalidated his time as well with 11 seconds to go. And this is another championship protagonist. It could be out qualifying. Who is out of qualifying? There's a lot of surprises here tonight, isn't there? Smithfield Mighty has got a new set of medium tires and into the bus stop chicane then. Lovely stuff indeed there. You've got to hug the inside the second bus stop chicane curve, then across the line he goes. And that's an improvement. No, it isn't. It's not an improvement there. He's lost at 9 thousandths of a second at the end there. Checker flag has fallen. J-Dog out of qualified. Silva is out of qualifying as well, albeit he hasn't. You can see he's out of qualified now because he was cruising across the finish line there. So it's Silva there going a bit wide, unfortunately. And we've got Jurgen asking if it's Picasso's first time. No, of course, Picasso is driven in Alr Cobalt for a number of races now. So he's been here since the very beginning, Anthony Picasso. So great stuff indeed there. This is his 20th Grand Prix start tonight, so congratulations for Picasso there. One of the most experienced drivers in all of the grid then. Not the most experienced driver in the grid tonight at the moment then is actually ZGS, who is his 21st Grand Prix start. So hats off then to ZGS, and he celebrates his 21st Grand Prix start, being the most experienced driver in Alr Cobalt with his 8th edition. That's a good stuff indeed there. I think that Picasso's done just a couple of gremlins on this circuit though. But having said that though, this circuit you really need a car that is compliant, don't you? If you can't get that right, you're going to struggle around here. Unfortunately, I've never had a car that's compliant. I've never been compliant myself either then. So really, what do I expect my car to be compliant? J-Dog then out qualified, unfortunately. So to say Big Dog is in trouble here. Isn't he? He is, unfortunately. J-Dog is out of qualified, which is such a shame then. So we got the top 3 championship rivals, the championship protagonists, the championship contenders, all out of qualifying then in qualifying 2. So who is going going to step up then? And who's going to stand up and take pole position? And Brooksy's been absolutely incredible in qualifying. Can he get for his fifth pole position there? It would be also his 10th pole position of his career for Brooksy. Fantastic start that is. And this will be his this will be his 5th pole position and 8 Grand Prix starts this season. Magnificent stuff indeed there for himself, for Brooks then. Really good stuff. But J-Dog is the most, shocking of the knockouts tonight then. Is J-Dog out Starburst and Picasso. Silva and Dukanko as well. All struggling with pace at this qualifying 2 session there. And there are some major drivers then that unfortunately have exited the qualifying session here tonight, unfortunately, which is, well, I think it's going to get very interesting indeed. Then, isn't it? Of course, my figure it's a Champions League on tonight as well. And we've also got Fulham against Swansea. Great stuff indeed. Then, as I get rid of all my notifications, then, why didn't Dukanko Dave settle up then? I think that Dukanko did settle up, but unfortunately, it wasn't good enough, was it, to get through into qualifying 3? I'm not sure, but he did try on the medium tyres. I wonder if he doesn't want to start on the soft tyres at all. Remember, some drivers do not like the softer compounded tyres. And that is why Dukanko probably doesn't want to start on the soft one. Maybe. Out of qualifying is Starbust. Picasso had a bit of a nightmare qualifying 2 session, but hopefully he can get together in the race then. Silva in 13th position at 12th position Dukanko. J-Dog in 11th position out of qualifying. We have got 5 drivers there on the soft tyres, 5 drivers on the medium tyres. Goodness me, half and half. Who knows who's got it right? Oof, I've been a bit of a pig tonight. Now I'm absolutely I'm absolutely feeling it. I've been having these these whisper bite things. They're absolutely delicious. But my word, I think I've had more than half a packet, and now I'm really struggling. Oof, my word there. So if I go quiet for a minute, it's because I have moved too fast there, and perhaps I'm just trying to stop my belly from swooshing around. Then right, 30 seconds into qualifying 3. Now we don't hear about my terrible eating habits. And we need to be looking at Brooksy's incredible, impeccable driving style. He comes out of the pits now, and look at that. Then is ZGS has left the session, and that's not good. There, ZGS needs to get back in the session pronto because he's in a great position at the moment here tonight. Isn't he? ZGS and really elevating himself quite nicely indeed. J-Dog said it validated my outlap and my next lap, all because I let a couple of cars go halfway around my lap then. So J-Dog, so that doesn't sound right at all. So I'm not sure what's happening there for J-Dog then. No, that is not good at all. Long racer, Big Dog, just avoid the curbs, mate, then, from Serious Mushroom was saying in the comments as well. I think that's one of the most important parts of this game this season. Avoid those curbs there, my word, there. It will spit you out quite profusely, won't it? And you'll be into the barrier in not a jiffy, won't you? So that's not, so taking too much curbs then is not a good idea at all. And these modern Formula 1 cars are so big, aren't they, these ones are? And they spin quite quickly as well, don't they? Much more, I think we've seen that on the first qualifying lap with these new, bigger Formula 1 cars. 2017, I think it was, wasn't it? Where we first went to these much more bigger, much more lower and faster Formula 1 cars in 2017. And Ricciardo had, unfortunately, half spun it in turn 14 in Australia. And unfortunately, he was out, wasn't he, there? And which is a shame wasn't it? For Danny Ricciardo. I think they modified these cars again in 2018 there and added the halo. And then in 2019 as well, of course, they slowed they hired the rear wing slightly, didn't they, to slow them down a bit. And of course, these cars that have lost 10% of downforce, or something like that, potentially. Maybe something like that. I don't really... I should really pay more attention, shouldn't I? So Brooksy comes across the line and let me take a look at the comments. As J-Dog said, cheers mate, at least I get to listen to the legendary commentary. I think J-Dog must have Murray Walker on then. We've just got Brooksy coming out of that last source then. We got Dukanko. I didn't get a clean lap in there as Dukanko didn't, unfortunately. We seen him struggling, didn't we? And of course, I'm not sure if his teammate may have distracted him slightly. Remember, the 2 Alfa Romeo drivers did come to blows, didn't they? The Canadian Grand Prix on this season. That could have potentially been a 1-2 for the Alfa Romeo team. They was looking so strong, weren't they? But unfortunately, that race went a bit peak tongue for them, didn't they? Hammer Time is saying Brooksy on pole. I'm calling it. Defo Brooksy pole. Now that the big dog is out there, 100% in the 142s. There, Dukanko is saying. Oh goodness me, and that's going to be pretty impressive time indeed, then, isn't it? I think that wasn't that pole position last night. I think wasn't it a 142 in the low 142s, wasn't it? Because I've been asleep since then. I've also ate as well, and of course when I eat, then I seem to have my memory erased. Thank goodness me. Men in Black would never need that. Thing that flashes and kind of you forget stuff. All you got to do is feed me a ham sandwich, and I'll completely forget. Brooksy into Stavelo as well. Done a 16.5 in the middle sector there for Brooksy. Of course, Brooksy's going for his 5th pole position of the season. Over half success rate for Brooksy, because he's only been taking part in a qualifying session this season. So pretty impressive to say the very least. Then yellow flag in the Puyong then, as we're going down the they were going down the hill then, and so we got Hammer Time saying love the helmet. Very good stuff indeed. Then there's Pagoda saying no pressure for Brooksy. He's abandoned his time and come back into the garage. So I'm not sure what's on there for Brooksy, but he was not happy at that time, was he? And he has abandoned that one. As he got Marshall's waving yellow flag for something. I think something untoward has happened behind Senna. We're going to stick with Senna in the Alpine car as well. Of course, this Alpine car used to be the Tollman. And remember that Senna made his debut in the Tollman as well, didn't he? In 1984? Yes. Yeah, it was 84, because he had an incredible F3 season, didn't he, against Martin Brundle. An absolutely incredible season that was. As Senna goes faster on a 43.6 there for the Alpine driver. Really good stuff indeed there. What about the Aston Martin across the line as well? I think it is Jenner. It is Jenner. It's Craig Ard. Goodness me, I need to adjust my spec savers. Craig Ard goes second fastest on a 44.6 there, just about a second away. Paris in the 2 minute and 6. That would have been pole position in 95. About. Booty has gone second fastest. Good stuff indeed there for Booty. Once again on there, in there like swimwear there for Booty. Here comes Smithy Almighty out of the bus. I'm just kidding. That's looking a very sturdy car on the rear end there for Smithy. And you've seen on the timing sheet as well. He is second fastest. 3 tenths a second away. You found out how good that car was. We only seen one turn, which is the bus stop chicane, but he was sticking to the track. Absolutely sweeter than that there. Lovely stuff indeed. And Jinder then, who is going for his second. I think Jinder was actually going for a lap, wasn't he? But I was a lap too early there, wasn't I? Just now on board with Jinder. We've got yellow flags in front of us, and it's the Alpine cars there. I think that's Senna there, just taking the runoff there. We've got Sir Dave just in front of us, I think it is there. So hopefully Sir Dave is looking at his mirrors there, because Jinder's on a quick lap. Sir Dave, according to the graphic, is on an out lap, but Sir Dave might actually give Jinder quite a nice tow here, actually. So maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe Jinder doesn't want Sir Dave to get out of the way then, but he is quite far enough in front there. Yeah, I think in these Formula 1 cars, there's about 5 seconds, isn't it, where you get dirty, where you can get the dirty air off of the front of the cars, can't you? Which is quite a lot. It's ridiculous, isn't it? So hopefully the 2022 cars couldn't make up then for that issue then into the bus stop chicane as well, as the Alpine car looked a bit squirrely there on the old bus stop chicane. And then here comes Jenner, and he's on pole position there, a 43.3 there for Jenner. Really impressive stuff indeed there. That's fantastic time there. What about Paris? He's invalidated his time, Paris has there. So that so unfortunately he's going to be a bit disappointed with that. And so has Smithy Almighty. He's found 4 tenths of a second from somewhere. That's a great time there for Smithy Almighty. Unfortunately invalidated it, otherwise that would have put him right in the thick of things for pole position. Sir Dave is on the Kemmel Straight as well, so Sir Dave has got all the track to himself there or thereabouts. Anyway, it is a long circle anyway, so you ain't going to see much of what is going on, Sir Dave. And let's go on board then with the Alpine driver. And now then as he's coming out of Lakecombe, then down the hill as well. Look at this, and you can see from the corner of No Name, you can actually see the start finish line, can't you? It's incredible, isn't it? Look, there it is, right in the distance there. Sir Dave should not be watching that though, because he should be watching what's in front of him, which is Puyong here. Oh, Puyong here. And look at that, keeping it within track limits as well. Great stuff there from Sir Dave, as sweet as a nut there. There's our pole sitter in the background, Jinder, and see he's just going wide then. Jinder, I don't think he's ever been on pole position. He's been on the front row at the Russian Grand Prix last season there for Jinder, but that race was quite a nightmare for both him and his teammate at the time, which was Brooksy, as Brooksy was went into upside down world. That if anyone's watched Stranger Things, he was in a different dimension there, Brooksy wasn't he? As unfortunately he lagged down, was in the session there all on his own, and it was such a shame for Brooksy, because I think he would have dominated that race, wouldn't he? Sir Dave then into the bus stop chicane, and he has used a lot of battery on this lap. Goodness me, Sir Dave is very greedy on the old energy. Out of the final turn there for Sir Dave, comes across across the line, and he goes 6th fastest there. They've won at 44.559 there. 300 second away from Booty at the moment. They're very nip and tuck then. Brooks at the top of the hill. Then Paris is now going for a second bite of the chair as well. Here he comes, and there he goes there. And now he has just got one more decision to make then, which is in the final part of that. Then flies past us now, approaching 192, 100. Sir Dave is in the wall. Oh no! And Sir Dave is in the wall, and that's on his in lap, I think there. Oh dear, oh dear. And unfortunately for Sir Dave, that is not a baller lap at all, is it then? As here comes Paris over the line as well. He goes pole position there. That is a baller lap. Fantastic stuff indeed there for Paris. A 1:43.296. Lovely stuff indeed. What can Brooksy do then? So the gauntlet has been thrown down there from Paris and Jenner, and I love this, and they're all queued up there to challenge Brooksy to the pole position king, the Speed King Award then, which I don't think we've got the Speed King Award, have we, because we haven't got a sprint race. Brooksy into the bus stop chicane, accelerates out then Brooksy. There's a lot of pressure on him in the comments there, but can he deliver? Not at the moment. He's down in 8th position at the moment. Brooksy is there, but he has 2 minutes to go in this session to sort that out into the last source as well. Great stuff indeed there. Cheers for saying that. Number one bites the dust there. A lovely quote there from Queen there, of course. So all can see Brooksy get a bit greedy on the curves. Like, goodness gracious me, that car can stick to the track. That's lovely stuff. It's like watching Scare Electric there. Mega stuff indeed there for Brooksy. Fantastic. If I ever tried that, I would have been over the hill and far away there. Goodness me then. We're just out at the top of Lake Com as well for Brooksy, as we are now entering the twilight of ALR here in Belgium. And what an incredible series of races we've had around here this week. I've absolutely enjoyed it. It's been such a delight, hasn't it, around the Spa. And of course, next week we go to the Dutch Grand Prix. The Dutch Grand Prix, that'll be the 3rd time we're racing the Dutch Grand Prix in ALR, of course. Of course, we've got gold Sunday, silver Monday, Tuesday is bronze, and this time next week, it'll be Cobalt as well, as we have got a Iron Knight who's facing the wrong way at the top of the hill. If he's damaged the car, this is all but over for Iron Knight, which means he's going to be starting 10th then. We can't see the front of the car from that angle there, unfortunately. I doubt I'll be able to tell anyway there, because I struggle to tell damage on this game, but Iron Knight may have cost himself a good position here, which is such a shame. And here's Brooksy now then, one more turn to go, two more turns to go then, but he's got one more braking point to go, and here it is, and as Brooksy then breaking down there from top speed then to he was carrying so much speed into the bus stop chicane, that's incredible. Oh, the final turn as well for Brooksy. This is a much better time now for Brooksy. He's second fastest there for Brooksy, but it's Paris who is still on pole position, and here at the Belgian Grand Prix, has Brooksy's got time for one more lap, but has he got the energy, has he got the pace, has he got the fuel? And I think we're going to have all of those questions answered, and Paris is in the wall at the top of Lake Com, and he is out of qualifying there. Paris' second run, it's not going to happen here. Oh no, and that's a major blow for Paris there. And Paris there, I don't think has ever been on pole position, has it? I tell you, he has been on pole position once before. This could have been his second time there. Jenner's about to cross the line as well. We got another Alpine car, Senna, who's cruising as well. They're action galore on this lap. Then Booty is invalidated his time. Has he got enough time there to start another run? I don't think he has there. Iron Knight then, of course, will also come a cropper at the top of Lake Com. And Iron Knight in the pits said, I think that is it then, unfortunately. And what about Senna? Senna is going around again. 1 second to go there for Senna. I'm hoping that I'm a bit far in front then, so Senna won't be able to start us up. He does start us up then. Good stuff indeed then. So we got 3 drivers then who are trying to go for pole position then. Paris currently on pole at the moment, but unfortunately he's been there at the top of the hill then. And it's such a shame then unfortunately for Paris. And here comes Brooks then. He has to find less than a 10th of a second. Is that in his arsenal there? He's very much to the limit of the track and the car on this day in history for Brooksy. He is going to have to really find something special there into the braking zone of the bus stop now. What can he find then? He's on peak performance now. I think Jenner's had some issues there at Puyong then, and I think that's Jenner. Oh, he's lost a hold of the front wing there. Jenner is not going to be on pole either. He's going to be third today. Oh, the final turn then, and here comes a Brooksy coming over the line there, and Brooksy's on pole position. What a fantastic lap. What a fantastic final sector, and it's his 5th pole position of the season there for Brooksy. What an incredible final lap. Magnificent stuff indeed. Jitter, who's not going to be, it's not going to be on the same high as Brooks at the moment now, unfortunately, as he had an issue earlier on the lap. Then here's Senna, and we've also got Smithy Almighty down at Puyong as well. So this qualifying session's not over the moment, but Brooks is on pole position. What has Senna got in his arse? So then Senna needs to find half a second then if he wants to be on pole. Oh my goodness me, he's found half a second over his previous best then, and that is in the ballpark, I think, for Senna. Seriously saying that's a great lap from Brooks. He was a fantastic lap from Brooks. We've seen the end of it. He was at it was all or nothing. And Smithy Almighty, I think, has had some issues at stamina, unfortunately. And I think that might be Smithy Almighty done and dusted. Senna into the bus stop chicane, and out of it. And can Senna get pole position in his debut race here in Cobalt? He comes across. He leaves his pole position there for Senna. Oh my goodness me, 600ths of a second in front of Brooksy, and that's his first pole position on his debut here in the Belgian Grand Prix. What an incredible end there. As a Dukanko, I think, just put a comment in there. I think that's made me laugh, guys. But that's incredible stuff there for Senna. He is on pole position by just over half a tenth of a second there. Senna is going to be loving life in the Alpine car. What an amazing pole position indeed. And Senna there saying, come on there, Brooksy saying, Senna pole. It is indeed there, isn't it? That is a cracking time in the Alpine car. Absolutely love that. What an incredible end to that qualifying session here in Belgium. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Wow, and look at this, Senna. I think that's on 2-lap tyres as well for Senna. Wow, impressive stuff indeed. Remember, this is debut tonight in Cobalt, and my word, he's fitted in like a groove. Absolutely mega stuff indeed there. He's even got the Senna helmet as well. My goodness gracious me then. We have got a legendary name in Cobalt. Absolutely mega stuff indeed. Legendary times as well. Senna is on pole position and for the Belgian Grand Prix on his debut with just 61 hundredths of a second in front of Brooks in second there. What could have Paris done if he got a next second time? Same with Jenner as well. And Smith Almighty. We all, a lot of drivers only had one run in the end there. A couple of drivers didn't have any runs at all, did they? As we now proceed into the Grand Prix itself. Magnificent stuff indeed. Dukanko saying great lap, Senna. Really good. These are some incredible times indeed. Then now we progress into the Grand Prix itself. My word. My gosh, I know, absolutely mega stuff, and we have got. I've just closed the stream. That's not good, is it? Right, let's get on with the race itself, shall we? And this said, the course said we got 22 laps around the Grand Prix. So yes, anything's to play for as well. We had a lot of safety cars last night. Ayrton and Senna will be fighting over the right end for serious motion then. And Swanshank saying, well done, Senna as well. And look, it's very gloomy over it as well. So we are now preparing for the race itself then. And here we go then. That's Williams' car, who's I think in third position by looks out. He's really eager to get going there. Paris, like goodness me, jumping up and down there. My word, he's got a lot of hydraulics on that car, hasn't he? Right, here we go then. The drivers are just picking their tires, picking their strategies. While the drivers outside the top 10 can pick their tires. Everyone else has to start on the tires which they set their fast time on in qualifying 2 there. So the drivers outside the top 10 will have a tire advantage then, but of course they do not have a position advantage there. So that's where it equals itself up then. But it's quite easy to overtake on here. Well, no, it's never easy to overtake on a Formula 1 circuit. You still have to have a certain amount of skill to overtake, don't you? We seen that in abundance last night as well. Congratulations to him, right there, getting his second Grand Prix win of his career, of his season last night. I think that was his 4th Grand Prix win of his entire career for him, right there. Brilliant stuff indeed there. It's like a clinic in overtaking there from him, right? Fantastic stuff indeed there. Theo was quite close as well, but Theo has actually extended his lead in the World Championship after his championship rival. Ayrton, not Ayrton Senna, but Ayrton there, unfortunately had issues there out of the bus stop chicane there. We've got Winnie who's been disqualified there, which isn't good, is it? Well, not hard tyre inside that. Everyone is on the soft or the medium compound tyres, everything. So no one is very keen to go into the hardest compounded tyres. Let's go for the grid, shall we? Senna on his debut tonight is on pole position then for the Belgian Grand Prix. Brooksy is alongside him on row 1 there. And of course, Brooksy was denied his legendary and record-breaking 10th pole position of his career in Cobalt by Senna here tonight. Paris in 3rd position. Paris, unfortunately, only had 1 run, didn't he? Could he have got his second pole position of his career in Cobalt? Winnie has left the session. That's not good. Jenner in 4th position in the Aston Martin. He didn't get a second bite of cherry either. Could he have been on his pole position for the first time? There's so many ifs, buts, and maybes after that qualifying session. My goodness me. 5th position is Smithy Almighty. We've got the disqualification for Silva and Dukanko. Smithy Almighty in 5th with Craigar. Great performance for Craigar in 6th position. Booty in 7th with Sir Dave in 8th position. Oh, goodness me, then that's a very naughty row at 4. In row 5 is ZGS then, and Iron Knight in 9th and 10th position there. J-Dog then, the first of the championship protagonist in 11th position there. He gets to choose where retires he wants to start the race on. Dukanko in Silva. Softs and mediums in 12th and 13th position there. Picasso was really struggling, was he, in qualifying in 14th there. Hopefully he can make up for it in the race then. Starburst, the man who's second in the World Championship on the medium tyres. He is in 15th position today. There's a lot of quick drivers then coming through the field tonight, isn't there? Winnie in 16th for B has left the session. There's major troubles for the Red Bull driver. 17th is Scooby Stew on the medium tyres with Styles in 18th position there. Casal is in at 19th position in the Ferrari. He had some issue in qualifying. Hammer Time on the soft tyres in 20th position there. Hammer Time getting disqualified after putting a very quick lap in qualifying one. Then the championship leader in the back of the field then. And there we go then for the start of the race itself. And just on board now of Hammer Time, he's got 19 cars then between himself and the Grand Prix win. Hammer Time has won 4 times in his 8 and his 7 appearances. And for Hammer Time this season, he's been pretty impeccable to say the very least. That he is going to need an absolutely incredible Grand Prix today. Winnie there, who is not in the session, he's also got a red X next to his name as well. So the Red Bull driver is in major peril here. Winnie is there. And he's been disqualified as well. But it looks at that timing screen, we're down to 19 cars in this race then. Goodness me, I don't even know where I am. Here we go then for the start of the Grand Prix. It's a drive-through penalty for Dave, for goodness me, but here we go then. And the Mercedes has got a appalling start in the background. I think CJS has dropped all the way down to the back of the field. Center leads. Paris is in second position. There's a lot of drivers going off on the runoff area then. It's quite wide there out of last source then. Brooksy has dropped down to third position. That's oh my goodness me then. As they were getting very close there, but J-Dog has got him in his 6th position there. Magnificent stuff indeed. As we got yellow flags in the back of the field. There's one of the Mercedes in trouble. J-Dog is having a fifth. J-Dog's had a superlative start, and Brooksy is going up to Lake Com then, but he's not close enough. What a start for J-Dog as they come into Lake Com as well. Oh my word, there. Hammer Time is up to 11th position. The championship protagonist has flown through the field quite nicely indeed. CJS is back in the session there. Iron Knight is up in the 12th position there as he's dropped down a few then. Dukanko is just a throw understeering there and oversteer, I think it was that. Understeer, oversteer. Oh my goodness me! And the Ferrari is just completely wiped out. Iron Knight there, and that's only a virtual safety car. Goodness me! And my word there, I'm not even sure how that happened. That Ferrari came out of nowhere, Casal, and it's a virtual safety car. And oh my goodness me, that is horrific. Starbus has been given a 5-second penalty for a collision with Smithy Almighty. He has also damaged his end plate on the Aston Martin as well. That's surely a pit stop. You cannot survive with front wing damage on this game all around this circuit either. As a matter of fact, Hammer Time up 9 positions. J-Dog J-Dog is up in 6th position as well. My goodness me. Sir Dave has got a drive-through penalty for his jump start, and virtual safety car is out at the moment now. Oh my goodness gracious me then. Absolutely incredible stuff. Senna was still leading this race. Sir Dave is having some major issues here, isn't he? Goodness me, what's going on here? Sir Dave has lost out, and oh gosh there, and that's a spin there, and Sir Dave, oh goodness me, we only caught the end of that, but Sir Dave unfortunately is having a nightmare start in this race. I wonder if he got caught out then, because I got caught out, because I didn't realise the virtual safety car ended there. Hammer Time's up in the 7th position, he's up 13 positions there after lap 1. That is sensational stuff there, and Craig is trying to make up some ground that he's lost there, but here's Jenner. Oh my goodness, we got 3 abreast. Oh no! Oh my gosh, it's going to be Weber and Alonso 2011 now. Goodness gracious me, as they come up back. As that yellow flag said, that yellow flag, who's that off? That's Booty. Booty is, oh my gosh, he's lost the hold of the wing section there for Booty. And he comes back on the circuit now as well. And Dave, my goodness me! And Dave has had some major contact there. Oh dear, it's a bit messy to start his Grand Prix off, isn't it? Yellow flags all around the circle at the moment. Stars up into 14th position. Lovely stuff indeed. Oh, what is that? That's a Ferrari off, and that's a major shot. That's a major Ferrari off as well. Silva's off the races, out of the car, out of the Grand Prix. First safety car again. We've lost two retirement. We've lost two cars already in this action. Sorry, three cars already in this action-packed Grand Prix. Winnie didn't get off the start line out of the Grand Prix. Iron 90 in that 90 position. Silva also out of the race as well. What an incredible start it's been. Then Serious Russians asked, how is he going to get down from there? I think that was from Iron 90 then, who got completely splattered against the wall. Then it was quite a horrific incident, to say the least. It has been a very untidy start to the Belgian Grand Prix. It's absolutely perfect start for J-Dog, who's up 7 positions. As I have left the party chat there, and I've also left everything. Goodness gracious me, what's going on here? Oh my word, there, this is very unusual, isn't it? There is I have left the session. Everyone has just seemed to have left the session here. And have I completely lost? Oh, lovely. That's great. Center's won. Yeah. Have I been kicked out of the session? Hang on a minute. Have I got some issues here? Let's have a quick look, shall we? I think I'm still streaming. I am still streaming. Right, I don't know what's going on. If I let me see if I can get back in a bit quick. Oh dear, then this is not going well, is it? Right then, let me get back into the party because you don't want to hear me commentating. There I am. Right, then let's see if I can get back into this session. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go then. Oh, I can't join the group. Oh no. Uh-oh. If someone could help me, that'll be absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. Oh my, it's failed. It has failed indeed. Well done, Senna. Great stuff indeed. Then yes, it was absolutely cracking that stuff. As people still even, I reckon that I must have have I disconnected? I think I have, haven't I? So great. If anyone could invite me back in, that would be absolutely fabu. So I'm going to be sitting on the home screen now for quite a long bit of time here, and I'm waiting to get back in if I can. Yeah, so this is going to be awkward, isn't it? I'm hoping that I'm kind of hoping from a selfish point of view that the race has also been abandoned as well. Otherwise, otherwise this is a bit embarrassing, isn't it? But hopefully I'll wait for it now. But yeah, so at the moment, then, well, I don't know what to say really. Apart from that was quite a interesting start to the Grand Prix, wasn't it? Goodness gracious me! Then we had incidents galore, didn't we? To open that one. Just 1 second there. Let me see if I can get back in. I can't get back in. All right then. Let me see if I can quickly get back in then to this Grand Prix, and hopefully we'll be going once again. It's actually good for me because now I can actually calm down a bit because I'm sweating quite profusely here at the moment. But at the moment, I'm having some issues at the moment, which is good stuff, isn't it? Right then, here we go. Let's give it another whirl, shall we? Here we go. There he is. And so let's try and join the group, and hopefully I can get back in not too distant future. So, serious for saying, see you next week then. Oh, so I am back in the session, and let's just join, shall we? Yep, go for it. Oh, so I'm the only one that left. That's great stuff, isn't it? Right, here I come. And there I go then. So I am ready, and I'm back in the session as well. It took me a while, didn't it? But goodness gracious me then. I'm in spectator mode. Yes, I'm the only one that was out there. So what's happening? Not a lot then, but looks as so Craig is also in the pits as well. So it's only me that actually left there, wasn't it? Goodness gracious me then. So Craig in the pits, Jitter also in the pits as well. Let me try and get my composure. But it's now Paris who's back up in the second position, and down in the third is Brooksy. Hammer Time in fourth position as well. The good stuff indeed then. And so Hammer Time is up to a fantastic fourth. He's got past J-Dog since we last was with you guys before I took an abrupt exit. Oh, and Hammer Time has spun the car as he took I think he just went to the back of Brooksy momentarily then, but he's back in. But I'm not sure if he's damaged the car or whatnot. But away we go. Anyway then, so I'll also get me, hopefully get me my timing screens back up as well, and not too distant future. Center leads, and he's got quite a comfortable gap already on the medium tires as well, with Paris in second, Brooksy in third position, Paris on the soft tires, and the soft tires starting to fall away then. In fourth position is Hammer Time on it, but we're on board Picasso at the moment, who's in sixth, just following J-Dog. J-Dog must have lost a position somewhere. We have got Smith, Dukanko in 7th position, Smithy 8th then, with Scooby Stew and CGS in 10th position, Stars 11th, Craig R is 12th then, yellow flags in the background. Booty has had an issue there out of the corner, no name there. Booty is going to have to get back on the circuit pronto, otherwise he's going to be disqualified, and he's making a meal of that. Booty has said now he's done it, then good stuff indeed. Across the line then, and is Sir Dave, who's in the backfield after having a jump start. Senna leads by 4 seconds now. Goodness gracious me, Senna's absolutely flying, but this man Hammer Time is absolutely mega. As Booty's off again down in the Puyong here. We're just watching Hammer Time then, who's now right out of the gearbox of Brooksy. Hammer Time has come from the back of the field all the way up into Booty's got a 10-second penalty. Oh, Brooksy is off. Brooksy is off. He is out of the Grand Prix. Brooksy is out of this race. And oh my goodness me, and it's a major crash here. Oh my goodness gracious me, Brooksy is out of the race then, and is that going to be a safety car? It's right in the firing line, and just taking a look to see if Bert Molander's going to go for it. J-Dog has dropped down in 5th position. This has been an action-packed opening couple of laps here. After only 5 laps, we have lost 4 cars in this race, and no safety car at the moment though. Oh my word then, and now Hammer Time is up into 3rd position. It's an absolutely incredible performance here from Hammer Time after a nightmare race in the after a nightmare qualifying session, I should say, earlier on tonight. That he is now up into 3rd position. Brooksy, our 4th retirement, and he is going to be furious with himself here tonight. Brooksy is the Grand Prix there. That is such a shame, and just watching Hammer Time as well all over the back of Paris at the moment. Senna has got a 3.5 second lead, and Senna has lost about half a second somewhere then. Unfortunately for the debutant, and Booty is out of the race then, and unfortunately that is Booty has a rage quit there, which I'm ashamed of him. Now we're just watching Hammer Time coming through a block. Come on as well. He's on the outside of Paris, and he's going to break much later. Is he? He is breaking much later. He's got fresher tyres out than Paris because of the qualifying, remember. And Hammer Time takes 2nd position now. Hammer Time from 20th on the grid there, up into 2nd in 6 laps here in the Belgian Grand Prix. Mega stuff indeed there. Absolutely incredible. Oh my goodness gracious me. And J-Dog then out of last one as well. He's really trying to put pressure now on he's trying for pressure. Oh goodness me, Booty's car is right in the centre there. Going over the crest there as well. And look at this, as we got as he's now DRS there as well. Look at this, and he is gaining now. Hammer Time's going off to defend then. He's going off to defend there. But look at this, as I cut off into lane. Coleman Paris is back through, back past Hammer Time, the championship leader. And good stuff indeed then. So Hammer Time is now dropped down into 3rd position. And Picasso, goodness me, and he is driving that car like a rally car tonight. My word, I thought he was off proper. But Picasso just about keeping it all 4 wheels on the circuit, and just about. Anyway, it's Scooby Stew in 8th position. Doing a good job, Scooby Stew. And in terms of the penalties at the moment, 5 seconds for Smithy, 3 seconds for Craigar, and 3 seconds for Jinner as well. Then 15 cars remain then out of this 20 that started. And Brooksy out, Booty out, Silver out, Iron Knight out, and Winnie didn't start the race, unfortunately. So he didn't really get a fair opportunity at this one, unfortunately, did he? Into the pits there is Sir Dave. Sir Dave is not far away. Goodness me, Hammer Time thought he's in the wall there at Stavolo. Sir Dave just coming to the pits. They go on to the hard tires. Sir Dave having a nightmare race, and he's been involved in 1 or 2 incidents, and he's had a drive-through penalty as well for Sir Dave. Just watching Hammer Time now, who is at 4/10 of a second away, then breaking down then into the bus as well, just in the flash of the other Alpine car. But that is Senna, who is leading this race as well. And so Senna at the moment, the gap is coming down though between Senna as J-Dog has got through. Oh, it's Picasso spun at the bus stop there. That was the same place that Ayrton spun last night, but Picasso's able to carry on there. But he's got Ducanco, who's running in for his gearbox. Well, I think everyone who had a pole in qualifying earlier on there seems to have really transformed their race quite nicely indeed. Then going through a Rouge and Radion as well. Now the tables will turn. Now it's Hammer Time. It's got DRS, and now it's going to be Picasso. It's going to be Paris, and who's going to have to defend that. Scooby Stew and Smithfield Mighty are also scrapping away as well. Going up to the top of Lake Com, and Paris has spun it there. Goodness me! And Paris, I think, took too much curve. Then J-Dog's up in the 3rd there, and Paris then has dropped down the order. He's going to be unhappy with that then, isn't he? And we got 2 McLarens, so who's also fighting away as well. So Smithfield Mighty has got past Scooby Stew and up in to 7th position there. Scooby Stew down to 8th, and ZGS in a 9th position there, and really hounding now the McLarens in front of him there. Of course, the Mercedes who powered the 2 cars front. There's Stiles in 10th position on a great drive to at the moment. Stiles is looking very strong then. Very strong then for for Stalls. Great stuff, indeed. Of course, Stalls' best race performance of his career was in the British Grand Prix a couple of races ago. Oh my goodness me, I thought ZJS was going to go on the inside of Puyong. My goodness gracious me, that would have been quite frightening indeed. But I think the gap closed there, didn't it? Gap at the front is down to 3.4 seconds in between Senna, as there's a Aston Martin off the circuit. Is Jenner having issues there, and Picasso is off as well. Picasso's having a strong race, but he's now lost another position there. It is look, I'm wondering then, I wonder if the track is getting a bit slippery out there. I don't think there's any rain coming down from the skies, so I'm not sure what's going on there. So I wonder if there's some other kind of moisture in the air, perhaps, or maybe a bit of snow. Of course, I don't think it will be at this time of year. Starburst then, who's trying to come back through the field after that early wing change then in the Aston Martin, as we're now going through a Blanchimont as well. Craig Picasso's in the pits then after 6 laps on the soft tyres, and he's had to go in the pits early because he's really struggling, and one of those tyres have been damaged then from the spins he's had. And now is Craig who is now going to be feeling very vulnerable, because here's Starburst, who's second in the World Championship, is a championship rival. Hammer Time is now second in this race then, so I think the Starburst's heart is going to be sinking slightly to see Hammer Time right at the sharp end of the field then, whilst Starburst down in 10th position at the moment. ZJS said, who's now cut up the Kemmel straight as well. But Scooby Shoo then is going to stick to the race a lot then, so ZJS is now going on the inside into Lake Com then, and he is through. Scooby Shoo down to 8th position there, but these are still very good points then for the McLaren team. There's also a long way to go as well. Jenner in the pits then for the Aston Martin team then, after having a problem at the top of the hill at Lake Com there. Craig is a bit too far back now from Starburst, who is now in 10th position, so he gets a point to the road there, Starburst. Good stuff indeed. Let's take stock. Senna leads the Grand Prix by 3.8 seconds from Hammer Tom in second. J-Dog in third position there. Now in third position, the Haas car. Paris in fourth. Ducanco in fifth. Smithy in sixth, along with ZJ, Scooby Shoo and Styles 7th, 8th and 9th, and then there's Gagler cars are looking very interesting indeed then. 10th position is Starburst then with Craig R, and 11th, 12th position Casal. Picasso, who's come in the pits early on, he's thrown the hard tires, that should get him to the end of the Grand Prix in 13th. Jenner in 14th position, Sir Dave in 15th, Retirements, Brooksy, Booty, Silva, Iron Knight and Winnie all out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately. And now Scooby Stoo's dropped off the back of ZJS, and ZJS is looking strong at this stage of proceedings, is he, in that Mercedes, because he's now causing Smithy Almighty some grief then in the McLaren. So only who's coming to the pits then so far? The highest driver coming to the pits then at this moment in time then is I think Starburst, actually, isn't it there? So Starburst there on the soft tyres, but we think he'll have to come in again shortly, because those soft tyres ain't going to get to the end from there. So Starburst is going to have to come in the pits then. Casal's on the hard tyres, so those hard tyres are going to be second hand if he tries to go to the end from there. Picasso will be going to the end from there unless a safety car or something untoward happens there. We've also got Jenner, who's on the hard medium tyres, and he should be able to get to the end from there, and Sir Dave also on the hard tyres, who also be aiming to get to the end from from this point as well. ZJS said once again, just run out straight there, believe it or not. The Kemmel straight is quite a long straight there, but ZJS and Scooby Stew both ran out of, I think it was Stars actually, Scooby Stew and, ZJS and Stars ran out of straight there on both McLaren. So both McLaren showing that they've got a very slippery car underneath them as well, haven't they? Good stuff indeed for both McLarens. That's a very handy thing to have around here, isn't it? Of course, the first and third sectors are quite quick as well. It's the second sector which is very technical, isn't it? And this is where you do need the downforce, and this is where ZJS and Styles come back out there too, the two McLarens here, but it's very difficult to overtake around here. Then the driver in front has to make a mistake, don't they? Or you have to be on very fresh tyres, don't you? These drivers are all on the same life of tyre. There is Picasso gets a 3-second penalty that may come back to haunt him later on in the race as well. Into the pits there comes Hammer Time then, so Hammer Time in the pits, and the championship leader is the first driver in. I think J-Dog is also following him in as well, isn't he? No, he isn't there. He's coming around, so Hammer Time is the first driver to come in the pits. They're going for an overcut here, an undercut here. As he just have a look into the bus stop chicane, but Smith might have defended absolutely beautifully. But the other driver that came in was actually Paris, not J-Dog. Then so Paris in the pits as well. Where is Hammer Time going to come out? And Sir David's out of the Grand Prix. He's had an instead the top of Eau Rouge heading into Radion, and he is out of qualifying. It's a safety car, and Hammer Time is going to be loving this, isn't he? Goodness gracious me! And Hammer Time is going to be loving it down. He also comes out in front of these drivers. Paris also going to be liking this as well. As he comes out in front of in front of Starbus on the soft tires, and Cassau in the pits. And so rolling the dice straight away. Cassau will probably be going to the medium tires now to the end of the Grand Prix. That's the sensible option there for the Ferrari team. And Cassau fourth in the World Championship, and it's an opportunity there to get some more points then. As Searchford said, lack of penalties for Cobalt is come of age, and that's yeah, really good stuff indeed there. Only 4 drivers have had penalties so far. Safety car is just waiting for the front runner to pick him up there. Senna goes a bit wide then. So Senna, J-Dog and Dukanko all going to come to the pits. And Senna will be on the soft tyres now, whilst J-Dog and Dukanko will be on the medium tyres then. So whilst Hamilton will be on the medium tyre, this is going to get very interesting indeed then. And how's the soft tyres going to last then? They should last from the end from here, judging from our previous experience in the Belgian Grand Prix over the last 3 days or so. So I would expect the soft tyres to get in the end from here. Of course, they all have to adhere to the safety car delta. They will all have they'll all have times, won't they, on the steering wheel or in the top right hand side of their hood, which will tell them when if they're going over or under. Then of course they would be go green or they would go red, of course, and they do not want to go for that. You get a drive-through penalty for breaking that delta. Senna staying out, goodness me, so Senna is staying out at this moment. It's all a mistake there for Senna. I was expecting him to come to the pits, but Senna has stayed out there. Into the pits, there comes J-Dog, of course he's on the soft tyres. It's a no-brainer for J-Dog and a no-brainer for Dukanko as well. But maybe, I thought that Senna was going to come to the pits as well, but this has really thrown me, hasn't it? And I'm wondering then if Senna don't believe that these soft tyres can get to the end from here, but I'm sure they would have been able to here. Interesting stuff then. Hamilton is now up into a second position there. Dukanko in the pits as well. So everyone is now in the pits this time around then. And of course, Paris is now going to be moving up the order as well. So Paris is going J-Dog's in third position. Paris in fourth position, and he's going to get in front of Dukanko. Dukanko's emerging out of the pits as well. Where is he? We didn't see him, but he's in the background. There he is. And ZGS also on the soft tyres. Switch from much on the softs as well, along with Starbus and Styles. Someone has got Craig R and Scuba Stew have gone the hard tyres here, and so is Picasso's on the hard tyres as well. I think Picasso might be coming in there to throw on the softs, I think now. He's in the pits as well. He is on the soft tyres there for the Williams mechanics, and in and out there. Good stuff indeed. Good pit stop indeed there for the Williams crew. Lap 10 then, so safety car is out there. I expect the safety car to be out for a couple laps. And Sir Dave had a huge smash at the top of the hill. It's Radion, unfortunately, and that is our 6th retirement in a very brutal Belgian Grand Prix so far. So Senna leads, who is yet to stop. He's the only driver yet to stop in this Grand Prix. Now everyone else has stopped there. Hammer time in second with J-Dog in third, then Dukanko, Paris in fourth, Dukanko in fifth, all on the medium compound tires. In sixth position is CGS, Smithy Almighty and Styles and Starburst, who have all got soft tyres on now. Craig R and Scuba Stew, interestingly enough, have gone to the hard tyres then for those 2 drivers there. They didn't believe the soft tyres to get to the end. Who is right and who is wrong? Well, we're going to have to find out in 11 laps time, I think. Cassau on the medium tyres to the end there, so he's going to be sitting quite comfortably. And soft tyres there for Picasso and Jinner, who are just watching them. They're just trying to catch up to the back of the crocodile in 14th position. I wonder if Jinner's going to try and catch up then, coming to the pits there from the soft tyres until the end then of the Grand Prix. And the question is though, has he got any soft tyres left? But Sir Russian was asking why the hard tyres there. The 2 drivers that have gone the hard tyres is Craig R and Scooby Steele. I was quite surprised by that as well, because I think that the soft or the medium tyres is probably the way to go around here. But having said that, then I wonder if the tyre wear today is a bit too high for the soft tyres. Have those drivers done the homework then, or perhaps they got some other kind of problem in the cars, and perhaps is pulling them away then to go into the soft tyres, perhaps, and they may just not like the feel of the soft tyres, and the hard tyres might be the safest way for them to get to the finish line. And it's important points there for both Mercedes and the McLaren as well. Into the pits comes Senna now, but he's going to drop all the way down to the back of the field. Scooby Stew is in the pits as well, and Scooby Stew, who was on the hard tyres, I wonder if he's going into the pits now. I wonder if he's regretting that decision. And into the pits comes Senna, and he's out of the pits now, and a bit of a gingerly getaway there for Senna. But goodness me, and I think that he's lost a lot of track position. Senna has a 5-second penalty for Craig Arthur, who's gone to the back of Styles there, and that is not good then. Is he got damaged? And I'm not sure Styles got damaged as well. It's a Scooby Stew there coming out of the pits as well then on those soft compound tyres and accelerated away then. So everyone has now come into the pits then, and let's just take a look. So 8 seconds of penalties then for Craig R, 5 second penalties then for Styles at the moment, 3 seconds for Jitter, and for Picasso. Hammer Time leads the Grand Prix for 20th on the grid to lead this race now. It's absolutely fantastic stuff there for Hammer Thomas. He's gone from 20th on the grid to lead this race then, and he's looking in command control as well, isn't he? Goodness me, as the opening couple of laps there, he looked pretty impressive indeed. Same with J Dog as well, actually. Let's just take a look to see who the biggest movers are. Look at that, Hammer Time at 19 positions there. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Hammer Time, the Cobalt in a Cobalt here tonight. J Dog up 9 positions there. Brilliant stuff from J Dog as well. 8 positions for Dukanko, 10 positions for Styles, 9 positions for Casal as well. Impressive stuff out there. There's been a lot of impressive drives there. Let's see then if the second half of the race now to go. Crocodiles are caught up behind. We've got 10 laps to go in this Grand Prix. It'll be 9 when the safety car comes in. We'll be back here. We'll be back racing then with, of course, 9 laps don't sound like a lot then, but around here, it does feel like a lot then, because this is the longest track on the Formula 1 calendar. Scooby Stew there, who went from the hard to the softs now, and so I think Scooby Stew maybe feeling he did make a mistake there, but Craig R is committed to those hard tires, as the Craig R is. Let's see if he can fire him up then. Of course, the other hard runners there earlier on the week then did struggle, didn't they? And it is not a very hot day out there either. Safety cars in the end is that then. It's not a very hot day out there either here in Spa. It is quite cool here in the Belgian Grand Prix. So Scooby Stew then right to the back of the field then. So Hammer Time has now become the leader of the Grand Prix. So when are we going to get going? So he's just now, look how much slower he's so the Crocodile down here is he's letting Burt Molander zoom off into the distance. And where's he going to go? Oh, Krieger's got a 5 second penalty, as I think he's gone into Styles again then, as Hammer Time is bolted then stopped by the looks then. And I'm going to say, I'm not sure if that's going to be quite frowned upon there. Button did that, I think, I can't remember which Grand Prix it was now. Was it Italy? I can't remember now. But I think the Button went then stopped as well, didn't he? Which a lot of drivers do not like, do they? And so it's now then Hammer Time. I thought he went there. I wonder if he just made a bit of a mistake there, but I don't think he would then. I think he was just trying to catch out his rivals then. And now then we're going to be back going again, and Hammer Time is not going now. Is he going to go at the end of the final turn here then into the bus stop chicane? It's really bunched him up then. Now we're back racing then, and here we go then. J Dog currently second then, and I think he's going to be loving life at the moment. But look at this. So is that Paris running? He's gone for the switcheroo. Paris on the inside takes J Dog. J Dog is going to go up and under though, isn't he? He is going to go up and under, but unfortunately he didn't have too much traction there in the Haas car, and he's had to drop behind Paris. What a manoeuvre there from Paris. He's done the switchback, and now he's leading the race. Hammer Time is now already a second and a half there in front then. Dukanka's got a 3 second penalty. Vale got away as well. Look at this, and it's now we got Starbus here who's very much right alongside the McLaren driver as well. ZGS there is also alongside Dukanka. Starbus there is through. He is through, and a good stuff indeed there. Dukanka's and ZGS there remain in the same position there. Picasso's got past Casal's off the circuit. Oh, and now Aston Martin and Ginner's gone off as well at the top of the hill. Oh dear then, and Ginner and Casal have spun there at the top of the hill at Lake Cobham there. Damage for the Aston Martin there. Ginner, who was trying to get himself back into the action in the Grand Prix, but that is not going to happen at the moment. He might need another safety car to get himself back in this race then. And Hammer Time has just flown away, hasn't he, here in this opening restart, goodness me. And Hammer Time's already got 2 second advantage there. Where's Senna, who was leading the Grand Prix and looking quite comfortable as well until that safety car came out. That safety car has really thrown a spanner in the works there. Senna came in a couple of laps after the safety car, and that is costing position. And that McLaren of Scooby, it's Smithfield Mighty has got off the circuit there. Senna's back into the point instead as Smithfield Mighty looks like an adventure over the curb there, coming out of the Fania chicane there. Picasso, who is now catching on Craig R. Craig R is on the hardest compounded tyre around here then, and so Craig R is going to be feeling a bit vulnerable then as he tries to get some warmth into those hard tyres. That ZGS is all over the back of Dukanka, looking great indeed. That Picasso is now on the inside then for the bus stop chicane. And what about Senna as well? And Senna could have some traction here. It does have traction here. It's on the soft tyres there. And goodness, and that was just about traction, wasn't it? And those tyres as well. That was all about tyres, wasn't it, for Senna? And up in at 2, it's a Smith and White in the pit, so he's damaged the car, unfortunately. ZGS has gone from attack to defence now, as he was attacking Dukanka, who's on the medium tyres, but unfortunately, that's a big smash for J-Dog, and he's out of the Grand Prix. Oh, J-Dog is out then. He's third in the World Championship with his virtual safety car. Oh, it's now turned to a full safety car. Smithy Almighty and Jinner is going to be quite happy with this. Oh, my goodness me. Jinner on the soft tires. Jinner also getting a new nose cone as well. But J-Dog has had a superlative Grand Prix. Is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. And that is a major problem there for J-Dog, and he is 15 points in front of Casal. Casal needs to finish third then. Well, needs to finish third with fast up then to overtake him for third in the World Championship. But this was a good opportunity. This was a great race so far for J-Dog, but that is all come to nothing then with just a couple of laps to go here in the Belgian Grand Prix. He is out, and that is a major blow in his title aspirations, I feel, for this season. And what a shame that for J-Dog. Yes, we're only at the halfway stage, aren't we? But J-Dog had a superlative start here in this race, and we do have 10 more rounds to go after this one. Anything can still happen, but at the moment, no. J-Dog is going to be feeling quite disappointed with that incident there. So this is going to be interesting. The medium tire is going to come into the pit set, or because the soft tire said, well, ZGS is the first driver on the soft tire set. So let's see what happens then. Is Hamilton then, who really was flying away, wasn't he, at the beginning of that safety car period there? But all that but unfortunately, he is that safety car period there has wiped out his lead then. As all the into the pit set comes Ducanco. So Ducanco has come into the pits here. I wonder if we got some 5-second penalties in the order. And Styles has also got a penalty as well. And I think that a lot of drivers then with 5-second penalties are going to try and wipe these off of their accounts, aren't they? So into the pits there comes Ducanco. Then he's going to go into the soft tires now. This is a free pit stop for some drivers. And now he comes into the pits and stop all those marks and go onto the soft tires, and out he comes there as well. So good stop there for the Alfa Romeo team. That lovely stuff indeed. The only Alfa Romeo left in the Grand Prix. With unfortunately Brooksy out of the race then. And we've got Scooby Shooter just out in front of Stars, and Stars has served half his penalties. He's just got the other half to go now, hasn't he? Yeah, we're keeping on the penalties and see what they do. We're checking on those penalties then before the end of the Grand Prix. But it's Hammer Time who leads the race then behind the safety car at the moment, with Paris in second, but ZGS there is having a superlative race. And I said then the British Grand Prix was his best Grand Prix of his career. Well, I'm going to change that, but I don't want to say it out too loud, do I? But ZGS is on phenomenal form at the moment. Really good stuff indeed there for ZGS there. Had a nightmare start to the season for ZGS there, but goodness me, he is really starting to get on fine form, isn't he? Fine fighting form as well for ZGS. Good stuff indeed there. Jinner, who's been given a lifeline now after that spin at the start of the last safety car, and he has now got fresh soft tires as well. We expect the safety car to come in lap 16, then end of lap 16, I would say. Hopefully, and maybe even the end of this lap actually. I've got my fingers crossed then, and we can have some racing for the next 7 for the end of these 7 laps then. 13 cars remain then out of the 20 that started. Everyone came in the pits then on that second safety car period, except Casal, who's now in the 6th position there. If he gets third with fast lap or second, he would be second in the World Championship. Craigar on the hard tires in 5th position there. 4th is Starburst, and 3rd position is CTS there. 2nd is Paris, and Hammer Time is currently leading the race then. Everyone has come in the pits under the safety car. Ducanco in 7th position there. Fresh soft tires. 8th is Picasso. Fresh soft tires. Jinner off the turkey there. Scooby Stew 9th on fresh soft tires. Styles fresh soft tires in 10th position. Senna fresh soft tires in 11th. Smithy Almighty fresh soft tires in 12th position there. Jinner soft tires 13th position there. And I think they're fresh as well then. So I don't think, unless the safety car lights go out now, I think we're going to have another lap beyond the safety car. Indeed we are then. Is anyone going to come to the pits this time around? And I would say that it's probably a great opportunity to get rid of your 5-second penalty, I would say. But let's see if anyone comes into the pits at the moment. And there is a McLaren, and there's a Mercedes, and Craigar is into the pits then. So Craigar comes to the pits then. I wonder if he's going to throw on the soft tires now to the end of the Grand Prix, which will make Craigar mightily quick then at the end of this one. So the Mercedes mechanics are primed and ready to go. There they go then. And yes, they're going on to the soft tires to the end of the Grand Prix, as hopefully it's been released then. It's a very slow stop there, and then now he's out there. So, yeah, Craig, that was a pretty important stop there for the Mercedes team. Luckily, the safety car's out then, so that ain't going to be too painful there for Craig. He ain't going to lose nothing in terms of track position or time, because track position is last, and in time, they're all beyond the safety car anyway, and so that shouldn't make too much of a difference. And Craig Ard's 13-second penalty is now down to 8 seconds, so he served one of those 5-second penalties, so I think Craig Ard will be a bit more happier. Maybe another safety car appeared, then Craig Ard might be able to serve the second one as well. A lot of safety, we had a lot of 5-second penalties under the first safety car, unfortunately, didn't we? As they all came a bit too close for comfort. Oh my gosh, we've had a fantastic week of action, haven't we, here in the ALR this week? Of course, Cobalt, the fourth and final race of this week as well. Of course, gold, silver, bronze, and Cobalt are putting a bit of a clinic here this week, aren't they? Fantastic something. We'll go into the second half of the season this time next week, and we're starting off in the Dutch Grand Prix. Of course, there's going to be a lot of drivers there. There'll be a lot of drivers home Grand Prix next week as well, and so of course I think the Dutch fans are going to be cheering on the hometown talents of gold, silver, bronze, and Cobalt as well. Of course, then we move on to the Temple of Speed, the Italian Grand Prix in round 12, and then we hit Russia in round 13, Singapore for round 14, Japan then next, then as we go to the land of the rising sun, United States, and the land of opportunity, then the United States Grand Prix, Mexico, then Brazil, then the usual start of an ALR season, the Australian Grand Prix, round 19, and only the second it's only the second time in ALR history that for silver and gold then that we haven't started in the Australian Grand Prix safety cars in the end of the then. So it's the penultimate round this season, and that's going to be quite a perilous circle indeed, isn't it? And of course then round 20 is going to be in Abu Dhabi then for the final race of season 6 of ALR. And who is going to be the champions, and who is going to be the champions of gold, silver, bronze, and Cobalt? Who is going to be the joint constructors champions? Who is going to be the constructors and world champions of each division as well? Well, we were not going to know that until the end of the season. Sir Toby saying, well, about time for that hammer time. Hammers in another win then. As J-Dog should have stayed off of those curbs, as J-Dog had a humongous crash. We just caught it just off the stream there, didn't we? Hammer time once again, electing for a very slow return to action here then. So we're going to have 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 and 22 laps then around the Belgian Grand Prix. So we're in the twilight now, aren't we? And J-Dog saying what a letdown there. So he is going to be beating himself up by that. He's had a superb Grand Prix from 11th to 2nd there. He was in fine control as well in the Haas car, and unfortunately both Haas out of the race. No Haas will get the Haas are going to get nil points in this event there, unfortunately. And here we go then. Hammer time then is drop the hammer as well then. So we're back racing here then. Starburst struggling to get on the power in the background there, is he? I think that Cassal's not close enough, is he? Hammer time leaving into last source. They have dropped ZGS, but he is on the soft tires. We got Picasso right underneath the underneath. Look at that, he just sprang out from underneath, and now Alpine car Senna right off the circuit there, and I'm not sure if he kept going now. I think he has, as Picasso's just overtaken Ducanco through at last source then. He doesn't have DRS, does he? But Ducanco will have the slipstream as well, but I don't think he's got enough speed down the Camel straight at this stage, has he? And yes, Senna is dropping. Senna's dropping then as well. I think that poor run out of last source there is really accumulated coming up to Lake Com as well, and that just shows how important it is to get a good run off of Lake Com. Otherwise they're going to be a sitting duck, and unfortunately Senna's lost 2 positions there in that instance of the Grand Prix. Senna, who's leading this race in the early stages of the race, had a great Grand Prix here in great qualifying earlier on in tonight's race there, but in tonight's session there. But unfortunately, the race there has gone a bit peak-tongue then with safety cars. Unfortunately, there for Senna, it's really put a curveball in there, and unfortunately, Senna's just been caught out. On board now with Starburst, who's up in the fourth position now. Hammer time is at the moment taking the full shebang of points there, but Starburst there is going to try and maximise his potential here tonight after starting 15th on the grid there. So a good race there from both Hammer time and Starburst here tonight. Lovely 17th there, and we're just now watching this. That's Picasso getting very close to the back end of that Ferrari. Casal, who is 4th in the World Championship. Of course, the closest. Oh, it's Picasso lunging from almost nowhere there. goodness gracious me there. Well, that was... Oh, and he's got a 3-second penalty for running wide there. My word, that was a day late and a dollar short. They got the job done. So Cassal's coming back out into the last source hairpin there. Oh, is he going to run him out wide there? Very gentlemanly thing to do there for Cassal there, but didn't let it go. Oh my goodness me. Remember, we had Weber and Alonso in 2011 here. Goodness me. Got another one as well. They're going up into over. My word there. Great bravery from both drivers there. Fantastic. And how did they keep control of the cars is beyond me. And now we got three abreast and with Picasso trying to defend Picasso. Sorry, from Picasso, Picasso is trying to go. He's on the outside. He is on the outside. Picasso's lost the car. And going. Casso's. Oh my gosh. Picasso lost the car. And there's a McLaren off as well. On the top of Lake Elm there. And I'm wondering if Picasso lost the car. And then did the Williams just was rolled into the back with Picasso out of this race then. And there's a yellow flag there in sector one then. But I think that we might not get a safety car because all the cars are bunched up. Scooby Stew has got damage there. He's got damage on the McLaren there. And he is dropping down the order as well. Goodness me then. And that is not good at all then for all those drivers there. I think goodness gracious me then. Picasso lost it there. And I'm not sure if there is contact then, or if they just went off in sympathy there. Ginner's off as well, and goodness me, Ginner is having a nightmare race out there, but Ginner is still in the Grand Prix. Smithfield Mighty is now under immense pressure. Ginner's now out of the points, unfortunately. Smithfield Mighty is now under immense pressure from the Alpine car. Yellow flags galore out there at the moment. Smithfield Mighty there just touching the grass as we come through. Blanchimont as well then. Oh my word there, and now coming onto the bus, now coming into the bus of chicane, Centre on the outside, yellow flags, Ginner's off the circuit, and look at this, and it's Centre and Smithfield Mighty bagging wheels, Centre's done it, he has gone through past Smithfield Mighty, and up into 7th position then, as his comeback is on now then, how much pace he got in that Alpine car, can he get stars before the end of the Grand Prix? He is, I think technically he's in front of stars then with the penalty count back, which you'll look at in the next couple of laps or so. Craig Ardell just a drop back, so he does have newer tires on the Smithfield Mighty. DRS is not going to be available just yet, but Starbus is now very quiet, is alongside CGS. So CGS is just dropped off the podium now, unfortunately for CGS, but he's having a superlative Grand Prix. Picasso's out of the race up at the top of the hill. Picasso's out of the Grand Prix. It's a safety car again then, and goodness me, we've got a sprint finish here in the Belgian Grand Prix. Oh my goodness gracious me then. And wow, as into the pit comes Ginner. He's run out of soft tyres by Luke's Ginner, so he's just gone on to the medium tyres until the end. Otherwise, I think if he had new tyres, he would have gone to the softs. Or if you had any tyres that had a bit of rubber left on the soft tyres, you would have gone flat. Goodness me then. So we're just watching the Grand Prix. We're just watching the Grand Prix now. Sorry, the Grand Prix leader, I should say then, which is Hammer Time. Hammer Time there would like to appreciate just having a cruise to the end of the race, but unfortunately that is not the case. We're down to 11 riders in this run. As it's been very much a race of attrition now, hasn't it? Goodness gracious me. A lot of retirements here tonight then. Just over half the field remain then. Everyone apart from Ginner's getting points at the moment there, but that can change quite quickly. How long is this safety car going to be out for? We might have just one lap of running of this one, depending on how long the race control keeps the safety car out for. We might have a sprint finish as well. I'm wondering if Hamilton then, I don't think Hamilton's going to risk his track position in Norris Paris either then, with just with such only a handful of laps to go then, as Hamilton then, who's going through the bus of chicane along, as Ginner's got a 3-second penalty. In terms of the penalties, and this is the state of play, we got 3 seconds there for Starbus, 3 seconds there for Ducanco, 5 seconds for Styles, 8 seconds for Craig, 3 seconds for Scooby Shoo, Ginner on at 6 seconds of penalties as well. And is anyone coming into the pits? Nope, they're all staying out there for the remainder of the race as well. And so there's a safety car as Cassell is left for session there, and he is, I think he might be a bit furious with what occurred there potentially. But it remains to be seen whether he felt that was unjust on the battle was unjust or not. I'm not too sure. I thought it was interesting myself, but of course I'm a commentator. I'm all about the action there. Sometimes my racing etiquette remains to be desired. And other drivers might ask what racing etiquette. Then I got to say I do agree with you entirely. Though I haven't got much racing etiquette at all. I haven't got no etiquette in the real world either. I would love to have some decorum, but yes, that is definitely not me. Lap 20 out of 22 then. We've got a couple more laps to go in the Belgian Grand Prix. And my word there, it's been a brutal race, hasn't it? We've seen a lot of wrecks here tonight, haven't we, in Cobalt? My golly gosh. Cobalt is, it's a lot more wrecks than what we normally have in Cobalt. My word there. It's been a smashing one, to say the least, hasn't it? So with just a handful of laps to go, 3 laps to go, Bernd Molander, who is now leading the race beyond the safety car. We're on lap 20 out of 22. I'm hoping the safety car by the end so we can have 2 laps of racing action and hammer time then. Is he going to be concerned about the soft shod Starbus in the ZGS and Ducanco and co? I think he may be, because the medium tires there, yes, they've done 8 laps on those tires there, but the soft tires are going to be quicker, I think, at this stage of proceedings. And hammer time there is going to have to really get clever in to keep this Grand Prix when he's come from 20th on the grid there to lead this race. And I think the second half of the Grand Prix has not been as action-packed as the first in terms of safety cars. Anyway, goodness gracious me there, as safety cars really nullified the second half there, which is a bit of a shame, really, isn't it? But we'll see. Well, with safety cars in the end, it's happening with 21 and 22 then. We got 2 more laps then to go then. That's good for us. And we want more racing laps, don't we? Now, Bernd Molander, go away. We want to see now, we want to see these 11 drivers, these 11 gladiators are battling out then on the greatest race circuit in the world then. Who is going to be the Belgian race Grand Prix winner at the end of this one? And hammer time is gone. He's caught him napping now. Hammer time has his Paris there. I think that they was expecting him very slow. And look, even the CGS has been caught out as well. Goodness gracious. Oh, and hammer time is slowed right down all of a sudden there. Goodness gracious. I'm not sure if stopping and starting is the best way to do safety car restarts here. And they're all bunching up there. Goodness me, that. Of course, there is the lead driver's prerogative. But goodness me, stopping and starting like that, I think it's frowned upon. With the driver zone. Styles is dropping down the order there, and Styles there, I'm not sure what's happened there, but Styles has lost a couple of positions there. Now I don't think you're meant to overtake until the start finish line. Now we're back racing 21 out of 22 there, as Styles has dropped. Oh, Styles, no, goodness me, he was having a superb race there, and with 2 laps to go, he is down in 10th position. Jitter's off the circle as well, and I think that Jitter probably can't wait to park that Aston Martin tonight. He's had a bit of a painful one as he set herself into 6th position, and he's now right underneath the gearbox of Ducanco as well. Who am I going to be interviewing on the podium here tonight? Well, currently at the moment it's going to be ZGS, and fantastic there for ZGS. Jenner's got another 3-second penalty, but I don't think with Stars losing all of the Stars with all the front wing gone, then I don't think he ain't going to be able to get within 9 seconds. Unfortunately, what a shame there for Stars, who's having a superb Grand Prix until the very end there. As Pillars is saying then that hammer time may have gone too early there, which might have been what the game stopped in then, so that could have been actually what it. So I apologise profusely there to hammer time then. Of course, that is, I was accusing him of stopping and starting then. We've got Senna going a bit wide there through Puyong as well then. Star's got a 3-second penalty. As I think he's just going to be very, very disappointed in this at the end of this one. And what a shame indeed then. And there's a search where I said, yeah, you can't pass safety car in the pits. He did go quite early, didn't he? But the safety car I thought completely went there. But I wasn't watching the map. We're just watching Senna at the moment as we're on the second to last lap. We're coming to the final lap as well. And here is Senna, and here he comes, and he's on the outside then of Ducanco, and he is going to brake much later. He brakes way too late there into the bus stop chicane. Now he's missed his braking point, and Senna, unfortunately, remains where he started then. Final lap of the Belgian Grand Prix as we come across the line then. 2nd and a half between hammer time and Paris, who is going to be on course then for his, I think this is going to be his 3rd podium. Now, he has not a podium, I don't think, since he officially signed with the Williams team then. So he's going to be happy he's put that voodoo to one side, hasn't he? So good stuff did that for Paris. He's just got one more lap, though. He's just got one more lap to survive this mad Belgian Grand Prix. Currently, but Starbus is going to have to really put some quick laps in now as the other race is going to be off the podium. It's the ZGS there is 5/10 away from being on the podium and not being on the podium. So this is going to be a cracking end then to this Belgian Grand Prix for someone. And can ZGS get on the podium now? I think ZGS has been on the podium once, if I'm not very much mistaken. You guess he was on the podium last season. ZGS wasn't he there? So can he get on the podium for the 2nd time in his career? And it's going to be very close. But a superb performance for ZGS tonight. Mega stuff indeed. Oh my word there. And we're always Starbus has gone wide there, but he's only got 3/10 of a second to make up that. As he's really pushed on these qualifying laps now as for Starbus and CGS set. But unfortunately, Starbus is now stuck behind Parasite because Parasite going to be too concerned about Starbus's predicament. He hasn't got no penalties, while Starbus have, and Starbus has got 5/10 of a second with just one braking point to go. I thought he was in the barrier again then. Goodness me, I thought he said he qualified. Oh my golly gosh then. Hammer time, no, here he comes through Blanchimont. He's come from 20th on the grid there. And my goodness me, I think he's the first driver apart from Jim Strav to come from the back of the field to win a Grand Prix. Senna's got past Dukanko. One incredible final sector there. And Hammer Time wins the Belgian Grand Prix. A fantastic performance there from Hammer Time. Did Dukanko do it? Did Senna do it? Senna's having a 4th position there. CGS there. CGS got penalties. Dropped down to 7th in the end there. And yes, Senna on his debut in a 4th position there. But I think that could have been so much better there for Senna. But unfortunately, the safety car came out at the wrong time for him and cost him some major points here tonight. That is Hammer Time's 6th Grand Prix win of his career. This is his 5th Grand Prix win of the season as well in the first 10 races then. So 50% success rate for Hammer Time then. So he is going to be overjoyed with this result there from 20th on the grid there to win the Belgian Grand Prix. Well done indeed. And he also extends us in the World Championship. So he's and so of course he had quite a nice lead there, didn't he, after the opening 3 rounds? But it has been whittled down as of late then. But Hammer Time looks like he is back on form then in Cobalt as well, and extends his lead in the World Championship. Congratulations to Paris. This is his first podium since becoming a full-time driver for Williams. This is his first podium since the Spanish Grand Prix back in round 2 there. So hats off there to Paris, and also great stuff there for Starbust as well, who got 3rd position there today after starting 15th on the grid there. Driver of the day there was Hammer Time indeed there. So you can't argue that then, from 20th on the grid there to win the Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff indeed there for Hammer Time. He's going to be overjoyed with this result then. And they're just spraying the bit of the bubbly on the podium then, of course. I don't think it's champagne anymore, is it? I think it's like, is it like sparkly wine or something, or sparkly water? I don't know. Goodness gracious me. But either way, I hope they're enjoying the celebrations then, because I certainly would be as well then. Let's take a final look at the classification, shall we, from the Belgian Grand Prix. Hammer Time got driver of the day, fastest lap, and the race win. And I think that's a very good evening's work there for Hammer Time, and extends it in the World Championship. Second position is Paris, his first podium since round 2 in Spain. Starbust in a 3rd position there. He'd be very happy with that then after 15th on the grid then. Senna there in 4th position. I think he'd be a bit disappointed with 4th today after starting on pole position there, but unfortunately the safety car didn't help his cause. 5th position there for Smithy Almighty. 6th position for Dukanko. 7th position for CGS there. As he's dropped down a couple of positions there. I thought CGS was in at 4th or maybe 3rd. I didn't even think he had penalties there, so we might maybe he had some issues at the end there. Scooby Stew in 8th position, Craig R in 9th, 10th position is Jinner after a bit of a nightmare race there for Jinner. There he had 4 starts but got points in the end nonetheless. Styles are so close yet so far in 11th position. Retirements was Picasso, Casal, J-Dog, Sir Dave, Brooksy, Budalite, Silva, Iron Knight and Winnie all retired then from the Belgian Grand Prix. And I think I've got Hammer Time in the chat as well. Hammer Time from 20th on the grid there to win the Belgian Grand Prix. That's a decent day's work, isn't it?
Yeah, it all went my way.
And talk us about it there. What happened to you in qualifying? Because we just caught you on the outside of the Fania chicane, pointing the wrong way. And apparently you was disqualified for, I think you was parking in a dangerous location or something.
Yeah, I spun and I needed to wait until the guys came by, but according to the game I waited too long and I wasn't the wrong way, so they disqualified me.
Well, that's very harsh indeed. But my word there, but in the end of the day, it doesn't matter because you won the Grand Prix. My word, the opening couple of laps was absolutely sublime there. I think it was up to 9th after 1 or 2 laps there. Goodness me, talk us about your experience there. It might sound like that you was trying to play dodgems there to begin with.
Yeah, it was just, for the lap 1, it was just dodging all the cars. It was like crazy into the first corner. And after that, they're just like dropping like flies. Brooksy, J Dog, everybody just went off, and I came to the first place at the end, and I was lucky.
And what do you think that was? Do you think it was their race setups potentially, or is it a very slippery track out there? Because we have heard about the drivers complaining about the curbs around here. Do you think it was their setup today, or do you think that they was being a bit greedy on the curbs?
Now, definitely the curbs. They're really tricky here in Belgium, and also Eau Rouge is really crazy. You really need to get the car on track and stay it, but because otherwise you're in a wall.
And now going on to the championship, we're at the halfway stage now. You've won 5 Grand Prix in the first 10 races. I've got to say that's a pretty good first half of the season then. And you've also extended your lead in the championship over, I think it is Starbus now, who is second then. So how are you going to be going into the second half of the season then? Is it going to be status quo, just doing what you've been doing, or are you now going to be just like taking it race by race?
Just gotta take it race by race. There are some tricky tracks coming up, like Zandvoort. It's the next one. I really don't have experience on that track, but we will see. It's gonna be a fun one.
Really is indeed. Absolutely fantastic stuff today, Hammer Time. Really good stuff indeed. I think you're the only driver in the commentary box as well with me tonight, which I feel very lonely. So I think that's going to be it then for tonight. Then thank you all for joining us. It's been an absolutely fantastic performance here tonight for Hammer Time. From 20th on the grid to win the Grand Prix. I think only other driver to do that was Jim Straff last season. Magnificent performance indeed. We'll see you in a week's time as we